the peoples. Today we have not our usual co-pilot hell. We have Doodle Hell this time. Say hello
I
to.
need to contain myself. My humor is unmatched like this.
Oh boy, it's going to be great. Yes, it is morning. The sun rose, but I didn't sleep a wink. Saber hasn't woken up. She's still sleeping, looking almost dead.
でも顔色は良くなった。
The situation's not that dire.
Oh shoot right, just swap out the cusses for the Christian equivalent, I won't judge you.
Oh, yeah, of course. uh,
I
uh,
realized I am slacking on my job.
it's fine. It's fine. You wear multiple hats for these streams. So one is the designated cursor, also the designated explainer, uh, and then just overall co-pilot to this expedition. So,
I type as fast as I speak, so when you need an explanation just clarify you're not thinking out loud.
all right, we'll do. All right, all right. Let's see. Her breathing is even, and that pained look she had last night has smoothed over. Saber is sleeping peacefully. It's a morning like any other.
もしかしたらこのまま
Maybe if I let her sleep, Saber will recover. That way I won't have to make her kill anyone. Oh, yeah, that's right. Homegirl is virtually out of energy, out of the mana. And
Low battery, low battery.
exactly, exactly. And Homeboy is not given, so therefore the options are steal it from someone else or steal it from someone else. Or probably some secret third option that we're going to find.
The relationship is not fulfilling, we need a threesome.
You know what? Sometimes it's just how it be. That's just how it be. Then she could stay with me, just like she has been.
何よ都合のいいこと
Yeah. Something something. Remember what was that? 2 days ago, a certain pep talk. Yeah, pep talk from a certain archer man.
Chinese bowman.
Yes. I slammed my fist into the wall. Why are you making loud noises? You're supposed to be letting her sleep. Now you're going to wake her up. My own weakness nauseates me. If I put off on my decision any longer, Saber will disappear. I stand up without another sound. I don't know when Saber's going to wake up, but I have to make a decision before she does. I head out. I don't have a plan. I just wander, hoping I'll happen across a sign that will help me make up my mind. Park is empty as usual. Maybe because it's so cold. There's no one around, and it looks like I'm the only one outside. I sit on a bench, questions still ringing in my head. No answer yet presenting itself. Time slips by me as I sit on the bench. I have no idea how long I remain sitting there. But just as my fingers start to tremble from the cold,
あ
as expected.
あ、もういないと思ったらこんなところにいる。
Yep. I look up, hearing a voice calling to me.
やっぱりそうだ。こんにちは、シロ。浮かない顔してるけど、何かあったの？
Yeah.
イリア、お前また一人でこんなところまでやってきたのか。危ないぞ。どこにマスターの目が光ってるか。
Yes. I'm about to warn her that other masters might be lurking nearby, waiting to attack. I catch myself realizing how stupid that would be. Ilya's a master. I'm a master. And we know of like at least 3 others. Probably, I don't know. I'm just saying a number. I shouldn't be worried about her. We're enemies.
悪いな。今はイリアと話をする余裕がないんだ。せっかく会えたところだけど、話し相手になってやれない。今日は冷えるし、帰った方がいいぞ。
I don't get up from the bench as I dismiss Ilya. There are plenty of things I'd like to talk to her about, but I can't think of anything other than Saber right now. What's going on? Ilya doesn't say anything. He's looking at me as if I'm a stranger.
イリア、いや、別にお前を邪険にしてるんじゃないんだ。今はちょっといろいろと立て込んでいて。
知ってるわ。セイバーが消えかけてるんでしょ。
Whoa. As per usual, the child knows all of my secrets. How? I don't know. Absolutely terrifying.
それで、シロはどうしようかって考えてるのよね。
Just out of nowhere, Ilya's voice has gotten so cold and detached.
イリア、お前、なんでそんなこと。
言うまでもないでしょ。昨日の夜ね、私もあのビルにいただけよ。
Stalker.
もっとも、さすがにビルの中で様子を見てるしかなかったけど。
I tried to make my hands and feet move, but nothing happens. No, it feels more like I try to move. The more I try to move, the stiffer they get. It's those eyes. Those red eyes. Whenever I see Ilya's red eyes, my senses go dull.
あ、もう金縛りになったんだ。シロったら守りも何もないんだもの。
Whoops. She pulled a fast one on us.
一人でいれば簡単に捕まえられるって思ったけど、こんなに簡単に行くなんて可愛いな。
Oh no. Are we about to become a doll? In reality, not just in the fallen timeline?
Hug the left wall, because you have found a dead end.
I see. I see.
イリア、
Let's see how this plays out though.
そうなったらもう動けないわ。もうじき声も出なくなるけど、心配しなくていいよ。私もね、今日はお話をしに来たわけじゃないもの。
Obviously, you came to kidnap me. Ilya's eyes blaze with murderous intent. This is Ilya as I saw her the other night. Berserker's master.
お前、俺をここで殺すつもりか。
I grip my teeth and gather all my strength. But my fingers won't so much as budge. It's like Ilya's stare has frozen every nerve in my body.
だって、もうマスターでいてもしょうがないでしょ。セイバーが消えたら シローは一人きりだもの。いつまでもマスターにさせてられないわ。戦う手段がなくなったシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
Ilya raises her hand. Her slender white fingers reach for my chest.
他の人に殺される前に見つけられてよかった。
Because you want to do the deed yourself? Why are you like this?
それじゃおやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
My vision fades. My limbs have gone completely numb, and now I can't see either. How long have I been stuck in this darkness? Before I can figure out whether I'm alive or dead, I lose consciousness. Huh? I think I'm still alive?
いいのイリア。この子イリアの敵じゃないよ。そんなのリズには関係ないわ。それにこれは当然の権利なんだから。
What did you do?
10年間ずっとこの時を待ってたんだから。
Huh?
今さら逃がしてなんかあげられない。
I am so confused. Yeah? But I can't move. No, I can't. I can't even feel my body. What the heck happened? Am I really here?
控えなさいリーゼリッ
I'm multiplying.
お嬢様、組対の受け入れ準備が終わりました。あとは転移を行うだけですが。
The vessel? About to transfer my soul to something else?
始めるわ。二人とも下がってなさい。
Hello Tweedlemate and Tweedle Thumbs.
Exactly. Terrifying. My vision goes dark. There is no light here. Oh. All I can see is the crimson of Ilya's command spells. My consciousness is being taken someplace else. I feel nothing, and yet I feel like someone's taking my arm. Feeling faint. I don't know what will happen to me next, but it seems my fight has already ended. Bad end.
To the dojo, pupil.
Yeah. To the dojo. Alrighty then. Yes, I would like to seek advice.
おうす。理不尽な死に苦しむみんなを助ける憩いの場、タイガー道場です。
Yes, here to help those suffering from a terminal case of deadness.
リズ、
Ah! What are you doing here?
誰だ貴様、メイドなんてお呼びじゃね
Too, Taiga. Me too.
え。さっさと弟子1号を連れてきて。
ダメ。イリアはお休み。今ちょっと落ち込んでるみたい。
Why is she depressed?
むむむ。勝手に殺しといて勝手に落ち込むとはなんたる理不尽。
That's what I'm saying.
だがそれがいい。私も豪勢なお城とか行ってみたいにゃ。
Girl, please.
それはともかく。あんた本当に誰？なんか私たちと塗りが全然違うんだけど。
That's what I'm saying.
リーゼリット、イリアの友達。今日は代理。イリアちゃんにも友達がいたのね。で、どんな関係なの？ボケとツッコミ？罪と罰？
Yeah, those are certainly some dynamics.
まあ、イリアの世話とか。げげ。いいとこのお嬢さんだとは思ってたけど、そこまでお金持ちだったのか、あのちびっこ。
Well, of course.
うわー！そんなのお姉ちゃん許しません！なんたること。そもそもこんなバッドエンドになったのはシローがおじけついたからよ。
Yeah?
直前の選択肢に戻ってちゃっちゃと戦いの行方を見極めること。そうね。この終わり方じゃイリアも嬉しくないと思う。お？不愛想かと思えば何気に話がわかると見た。よしよし、いい子にはタイガースタンプをあげましょう。ティーゲル、ありがとう。
Literally stamped it on her. That's crazy.
いえいえ、どうかいたしまして。
それじゃあまた次はもっとマシなデッドエンドで会おうね。
A better dead end?
That was a good pun for the title. Come on and give me that much credit.
Oh, I agree. I agree. That was fantastic. Man, I did not expect us to be heading to a dead end. I was like, okay, there's hope for us. Shiro's either gonna be like, all right, give it up, and that's just the end of this route, or he's just gonna be like, I'm going against my principles. I'm a flawed character trying to massacre some people. I know that this would never happen. But anyways.
You need to charge up the stairs because it's what Shiro would do.
Yes, this makes sense. This makes sense. Yeah. Shiro. Goodness. All right, run it back. All right, so we're not being the good little boy that Saber has told us to be. We're going to go forth and follow Saber.
Bad doggy hours.
Exactly. Bork, bork. I just can't watch and do nothing. The uneven footing prevents Saber from gaining ground on Ryder. The two clash in the air, rushing up to the rooftop. If Ryder came flying down from the top of the building, chances are Shinji is there. That's true. We have two possible ways to win our fight against Ryder. Either we defeat her directly, or we defeat her master. But whichever it is, it has to be before she deploys her noble phantasm. While Saber's fighting Ryder, there's only one thing I should be doing. Getting in my stair step count. Interlude. Fate. Why are you giving me an interlude right now? Oh, okay. Interlude of fight. That's fine. I will accept this. Carry on. The two shadows climb upwards. They continue to distance themselves from the ground, gaining more and more altitude. Neither needs proper footing. They just kick their way up along the wall.
Interludes are just any point of view that is not first person.
Okay. Sounds good. Right. Like the last interlude was Saber with our good boy Kojiro. As it happens, they clash countless times, all before they ever reach the top. For anyone watching from the ground, they probably think they were seeing a game of pinball, though I doubt they'd be able to follow the two with the naked eye. It's like a deadly circus act. The collisions are barely discernible, invisible to normal human beings. Saber had no desire to be part of this crazy circus act. She may be a servant, but she can't fly through the sky. She might be able to run along the building's wall, but that's it. It's no better than a free fall for her. She alternates between kicking off the building before she loses momentum and slowing to let gravity take hold of her. It may be no exaggeration to say she's falling into the sky. Now that she started, she'll continue all the way to the rooftop. And in that entire journey, if her opponent hits her, she'll be hurled to the ground. But it seems the laws of gravity do not apply to the enemy, to the opponent Saber has to defeat. The streak of purple shoots across the side of the building in pursuit of Saber, while Saber focuses on reaching the roof. Gravity has no hold on Ryder. She leaps around effortlessly, moving in and from all directions, up, down, left, right, to strike at Saber. Her long tail trails behind her like a comet trail, and she looks like a snake wrapping itself around a log. Saber's feet touch the wall. She leans sideways and kicks the wall, aiming for the edge of the building. Saber suddenly shoots out at a right angle to her previous trajectory. Not one of the attacks finds its mark. Ryder is simply no match for Saber's raw power. Saber shakes Ryder off with a single kick, then kicks upward once again once she reaches the building side. She aims herself upwards. Ryder is like a serpent coiling around the building. Saber is like a bursting spark. But it looks like Ryder might have predicted her moves. The distance between them remains the same. Ryder continues along the side of the building, not letting Saber open any distance between them. She strikes every time Saber has to take a step. Saber fends Ryder off with her blade and jumps to put some space between them. Though she's able to fend off Ryder's coiling pursuit, there's only so much she can do in the air. Where before there had been no contest in their combat ability, they are now more evenly a match. Neither has the attack that can bring this to a close. No, Ryder is withholding her own deadliest attack.
Can you outride a rider?
Basically. Though what she's riding, that's a good question.
The wind.
You know what? Bullseye. But hold on. If she's riding the wind and Saber wields the wind, shouldn't Saber have the advantage? Assuming that she actually activates her Noble Phantasm. Interesting. Every time Saber leaps at Ryder, Ryder fends off her attack, but never counterattacks. Ryder's only keeping Saber at bay as she makes her way to the rooftop. Saber curses at her cowardly enemy. To a knight like Saber, a fight like this is as good as an insult. Such a thing should involve both opponents giving their all in their clash. By that belief, Ryder's actions are downright disrespectful. Oh, Ryder.
Do not foo-foo in my ear, woman.
That's what I'm saying. Ryder's voice is cool, calm, collected. But she's right. Saber is clearly not used to fighting in the air. It's probably a first for her, actually. Knights are meant to fight on solid ground. Unless you're a Dragon Knight. Then you're a little bit built different, but that's beside the point. Standard
Saber's riding
knights.
does specifically prohibit flying beasts including dragons.
Okay. Okay. Which I guess makes sense, because if she was out here riding dragons and things, she would end up being a rider, not a knight. Or saber, shall I say. They're not supposed to cling to walls like her opponent. What am I, Spider-Man?
自慢の剣もここでは型なしでしょう。けど安心なさい。
Orpheus was never doing this, I assure you.
Well, I feel like one time he did cast Spider Climb.
We do not speak of when that happened.
Okay. Is that because whenever you cast it, it was most likely inside of a certain dungeon that resulted in his untimely death? Second death? Return to death?
The illusionist.
Right. That girl. I swear I will throttle her. Anyways.
I
Right.
sure throttled her.
Yeah. Did a lot of other things with her. Ryder moves upward, her manner inviting. She set this whole thing up. Saber understands that, though. At the end of this circus, yes, Ryder's ideal positioning must be waiting up above. Ryder can't use her trump card so readily, which is why she's luring her prey to a place there will be no interruptions, so they can settle this with her ultimate attack. As soon as she reaches the roof, she'll be in a difficult position. Ryder's noble phantasm is exactly what Saber thinks it is. She won't have any defense against it. But there's no turning back now. We can't just ignore Ryder or her master. This isn't about defeating an enemy in the Holy Grail War. Saber must defeat Ryder here and now to protect her master. Because she has no other choice. This whole situation must be absolutely dumbfounding for her. She's probably thought more than once about not wanting to push her master to do anything crazy. The two continue gaining altitude. The rapid clashes ring out across the building as the battle approaches its final destination. Also love Smash Bros. Interlude out.
Run, Forest.
40回までしか動いてないんで
Run. I rush up the stairs while I complain. I manage to enter the building from the back, but the elevator doesn't go all the way to the roof. I have to run up the remaining 10 flights of stairs. Okay, 50 floor building? Alright. I climb the stairs as fast as I can. I'm not sure how long it's been since Saber and I split up. Probably less than 10 minutes, but that's too long. You never know how or when a battle will end. Even Saber's not perfect. She can make a mistake and get into trouble. So before that happens, if I can make Shinji use up his command spells, Ryder might stop fighting. The harder I run, the more my still healing body aches. Sprinting around the building, then up the stairs, has left me out of breath. But I don't slow down. No, I speed up. Gotta go fast. Something about this has me worried. I'm not sure
All that
why.
adrenaline and love.
Yes. That would be why the chest hurts. Not a physical pain. Something is warning me of danger ahead. Saber can't win. But we know from the bad end that she does. At the cost of, like, basically all her energy, but we know that she wins. There's something on this rooftop that shouldn't be faced. I tried to shake this feeling off and focus on climbing the stairs. The wind is strong. The moment I open the door, the city's nightscape fills my field of vision. Scorch marks pocket the concrete, and at its center, at the heart of the burned, scarred rooftop, Saber is on her knees.
Saber!
シロ、どうしてここに？
Well, you see, I felt a tremor in the force, so I had to come. Saber's soldiers heaved with her labored breathing. The moment I rushed to her, I noticed something strange floating up above me. Or rather, the sheer, overwhelming amount of magical energy forces me to take notice.
Saber, you have no way of knowing this, but this is the better turn of events.
Correct. Correct. This is the canonical route to survival.
I have died so many times.
That's true. Actually, that makes me wonder, like, obviously at this point I've made it to 2 bad ends. How many have I dodged so far? Anyway.
There are 40 total.
Okay, 40 total? Across all the routes or this particular route?
All.
Okay. 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 Interesting. Well, I will consider this a successful run if I do not find all 40. I look up towards the sky. Flapping wings. I hear flapping wings. Something, a paler and more blinding white than the light of the moon, hovers above me. An angel? Be not afraid? Ah, Pegasus. Okay. It is a legendary mystic.
Do we remember where Pegasus is from?
It should be Greece.
We have a continent.
Yeah. Yeah. Somewhere in Europe. Yeah. Let's see what else we can suss out. The moment she reaches the rooftop, Saber confronts her opponent's true form. Saber leans on her sword, exhausted, and looks up. The white light rushes towards her. Saber unleashes the wind that surrounds her sword, using it to create an invisible barrier. She goes flying backwards. Her attempt to block the onrushing Pegasus fails to even slow it down. Sound like that hurt. Force of the impact knocks Saber back, slamming her brutally into the ground. There's no time to be lying down. Pegasus turns midair and resumes its glide without so much as pausing. She can't possibly brace herself. Her only option to try to evade. Even if she manages that, the after effects of its passage will chip away at her defenses. If this keeps up, it will hit her eventually.
Fast.
So fast. The white light streaks down towards her. Pegasus sails far overhead and knocks Saber backwards before sweeping back through the skies. Saber can't possibly reach it. There are no walls she can kick off of. Not up here. Even if she could, there's no way she could actually reach Pegasus. Despite her disadvantage, Saber waits for an opportunity to fight back. Pegasus it may be, but it's a living creature, so she should still be able to kill it if she can just get a chance. Her only opportunity for victory is if Ryder makes a mistake at the reins.
驚きました。
Well,
見か
yeah,
けによらず頑丈ですね。あなたは。
of course. She's that girl. Ryder's voice comes from high above. Saber grips her sword tightly as she looks up.
ですが、それに意味はありますか？あなたには勝ち目などない。散るしかないのなら、潔く消えなさい。
Ryder's voice is calm. Even so, I hear just the slightest bit of joy in it.
幻想種だとは睨んでいましたが、
She's an S.
まさかそんなものを持ち出してくるとは思いませんでした。
Accurate.
ライダー。
A phantasmal species. As the name suggests, it refers to creatures which exist within an illusion. Humanoids like fairies and giants, demonic creatures like Oni and dragons. If they are considered mystics, that alone makes them superior to magecraft.
Genjutsu.
Yes. It's the law of nature for mystics to be destroyed by other stronger mystics. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. In the same way magecraft grows in power with knowledge, phantasmal species accumulate power from their longevity. Okay.
Old.
Say that again?
Old.
Oh, old. Is that what you were saying?
Thumbs up.
Okay, good. Yes, old. Now that makes me wonder if who's gonna be the servant that's running around here with a kitsune with a full set of 9 tails.
That's on the moon.
Oh, okay, cool. Even if a human masters magecraft, the most they can accumulate is about 500 years worth of it. Okay. Take a species that's lived since ancient times. There's just no contest between that and a mystic that's only 500 years old. And it's been a long time since humans and phantasmals have existed in the same world. The longer the phantasmal has lived, the further it's distanced itself from the world. The only phantasmal species in the modern world are a scant few hundred years old. Welcome, Killa. I see you came to chat ordinary and angry, flipping tables, long Vietnam stare at your eyes, and give you a good old hug. All right, bring it in. So Saber expected the Phantasmal Rider has had her mount to be only a few hundred years old.
For an idea, Sasaki Kojiro is about 500 years old as a legend at the time of this story. That's from his birth.
Okay. Okay. So by Saber's estimate, this Pegasus is in fact younger.
Older.
Oh.
Way older.
Okay. Way older. Okay, so Pegasus.
Kojiro is a young legend.
Gotcha. Okay, I've misunderstood what Saber had said in that. No, not this one. This one. One of these was the. What was the thing? Oh, okay. Saber expected her Phantasmal Rider mount to be only a few hundred years old, but surprise, we yeah, packing some from the Age of Gods, like a
It's
certain
a
other
pre-Bronze
person.
Age collapse mount.
Collapsible mount. But yes, she is high key.
Oh right, Herc.
Yeah, exactly. Also from the same exact time period. So we got two from there. We got one guy from Ireland. We got a guy from right here in Japan. We got a guy from right over in China. And then we got Mystery Girl. Saber. Who doesn't want to reveal her identity. Because, let's be honest, Shiro probably would let it slip accidentally. Good call.
私はあなたたちとは違う。むしろあなたたちの敵だったものに過ぎない。故に私が操るのはあなたたちが駆逐してきたかわいそうな子たちだけよ。
Wow, that is certainly a statement. So is she saying here that she's different in that her personal legend isn't big and epic like everybody else's, so therefore she's just like, well, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I'm a writer and y'all don't care about poor old Pegasus here. Behold my mouth.
A non-heroic heroic spirit. She's saying she's not pure. An anti-hero, if you would.
Okay.
なるほど。歪んでいるとは思いましたが、英霊ではなく悪鬼の類でしたか、あなたは。
Interesting. A demonic spirit.
せいぜい呪いなさい。あなたでは私の子に触れることさえできないのだから。
Pegasus rests its wings in the air. It's a giant arrow aimed at Saber's heart, ready to fire at a moment's notice.
I sure wish Archer was here.
Ain't that the truth? Homeboy would have said goodbye.
Skeet Shoten.
Exactly. See, a purple flash in the darkness, a heroine to get everyone high. She is the wife who flaps in the night. She's Darkwing. Oh my lord. Nice throwback. Love Darkwing Duck. Oh man. She glares at the creature and thinks Pegasus itself is not a powerful phantasmal species. It's really. A typical Pegasus is just a phantasmal that can only match a demonic beast in power. Okay. Were that the case, it would be easy to defeat with Saber's invisible air alone. But it isn't the case. That Pegasus has existed since the Age of Gods and has long since reached the level of a phantasmal. The horse is nearing the level of the dragon race, considered to be the strongest of all phantasmals. Okay. At the very least, its defenses are probably already at the level of a dragon race. Well, you're a knight, slay the dragon. Go forth and conquer. Since Pegasus possesses divine protection that exceeds even Saber's, whose magic resistance is unparalleled, the way it glides through the air, trailing massive amounts of magical energy, it's like a castle wall bearing down on Saber.
I can think of maybe one rider off the top of my head who has associations with dragons, and that would be St. George.
Okay. That makes sense. It can't be possible to avoid or repel something like that. Something else is odd here. Riders simply summon Pegasus, and it has no true name of its own. Actually, yeah, that's a good point, because usually if you're going to summon something, you'd be like, come to me! Insert name here. But Ryder said, check out this horsey. Yeehaw. To Ryder, Pegasus is a little more than, say, a favorite dagger. And that means she has yet to use her noble phantasm. Even in her dire predicament, the possibility of defeat never enters Saber's mind. Instead, she thinks her chance will come when Ryder really starts to get serious. There we go. Whatever Ryder's noble phantasmal may be, it'll have no trouble destroying a building like this. She just needs to focus on defending herself, on staying alive. Then all she'll have to do is cut Ryder down as soon as an opportunity presents itself. Yes. If only her master hadn't shown up. I look up towards the sky. Flapping wings. I hear flapping wings. Something, a paler and more blinding white than the light of the moon, hovers over me. It is a legendary mystic I've only heard about in myth. Deja vu? Ah, where's Saint Seiya? Hit him with the Rusei Ken. Anyways, the identity of Ryder's noble phantasm. Could that be what scorched the rooftop and forced Saber to her knees? I see that Ryder is, as her class name suggests, riding a horse, tearing across the sky. I shift my focus from Ryder. I thought I heard something. I can't tell how strong Ryder is while she's on Pegasus. All I can tell is that White Fiend has more magical energy in it than a few hundred mages could muster. No wonder the rooftop is a charred mess. That monster can destroy dang near anything around it, and just by running across it. As that thing charges from up in the sky. There we go. Even Saber won't be able to avoid it.
隠れるな。やってきてやったんだ。顔ぐらい見せやがれ。
It's a race against time. I need to defeat Shinji. If I defeat the master, Ryder will disappear. I hear laughter. Shinji must be hiding somewhere. He's probably right behind some building. Whatever this door is that you came up here from. Go around back.
見たかエミヤ。これが僕とお前の力の差だ。
Only his voice echoes. I found down my impatience and tried to focus on the sound of his laughter. Dang, went so strong. I can't tell what the laughter's coming from.
残念だったな。格好をつけて余裕ぶってるからこういう目に遭うんだ、マヌケ。殺すときはさ、さっさと殺さなきゃダメだって理解できたかい？
Yeah.
シンジ。
Don't rush. Let him talk. Let him talk all he wants. The more he talks, the better chance I have of finding
けど僕は違うよ。お前もあのサーバントもここで終わりだ。何？これでも知らない仲じゃない。昨日の借りもあるしさ。せめて苦しまないように一瞬で死んじゃえよ。
This is bad. Pectus, still high up in the sky, tips his head towards Saber. The vortex of magical energy swirls faster, as if it knows no limit. That thing comes down at us at full speed, it'll blow the entire roof apart.
何安心しろエミヤ。お前に邪魔されたけどさ、学校のバカどももすぐに後を追わせてやるよ。お前が寂しいってんなら、くそ鬱陶しいさくらも付き合わせてやろうじゃないか。
Wow. Which I guess makes perfect sense, because, you know, well, she was at the school for the Blood Fort, right? I think. But more or less got off light because of it. Oh. There you be.
Shinji, お前。
But yeah, hell, I
Had
was
to make a very fast bathroom run.
gotcha. But we
I was listening though.
okay, cool. Sakura was at the school, right? But more or less got off light.
I think she stayed home.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. So with that being the case, he made a point to I'm just gonna give him credit for this one. Protect his sister from getting caught in the blood fort, but now he's willing to end her himself. Just that way, Shiro, quote unquote, isn't lonely on the other side. Huh. Wow.
He's talking about you don't get the job done, but Shiro knows more about that than Shinji right now.
Exactly. Well, he has earned his L. He's done threatened Sakura. So now we just wait for it all to play out. Well, he's already earned his L, but more so than before.
Consequences meet actions.
Exactly.
やれライダー。まずはその女だ。跡形も残すなよ。セイバー。
A white comet streaks towards us, and at that moment, a storm rages around me.
セイバー。
For the first time, she forgets her enemy in battle. She is furious with her master for walking into this death trap. But she's also angry with herself for failing to anticipate him doing so. Yeah. He's nothing if not consistent. Generally speaking. All those thoughts are cast aside now. What else can she do? Even now, even in the midst of danger, she can see only concern for her well-being in his eyes. It's always been like this, actually. He may have understood that she was an exceptional knight, but that's never how he saw her.
どうやら余興はここまでのようね、セイバー。
Ryder's giggling voice reaches her even now. Ryder touches Pegasus' neck with both her hands, and the beast's wings beat harder.
私の宝具は強力ゆえ、地上で使うには適していない。使えばどうしても人目につく。まだ他にマスターがいる以上、おいそれと使うわけにはいかなかった。けれど、ここなら覗き見される恐れはない。あなたを誘い出したのは、ここでなら都合がいいからと分かりましたか。
Well, of
She needed
course.
the headroom.
Yes, exactly. Something begins to form in Ryder's hands. Seems insignificant, really. A glittering golden robe. Lasso of truth?
A girdle.
What did you say?
Girdle.
Oh, a girdle? I mean, you know what? That would fit well with her whole thing of being an S.
それが貴様の宝具か、ライダー。ええ、私の趣味ではありませんが、この子は優しすぎて戦いには向いていない。だからこんなものでも使わないと、その気になってくれないの。
Pegasus
Do not
moves.
talk about Greek horses and getting in the mood, please.
Yeah. This feral nature is not inborn within the creature itself, but coaxed from it by Ryder's touch.
消えなさい、セイバー。たとえあなたが生き延びようと、あなたのマスターは私からは逃げられない。マスターさえ死ねば、頑丈なあなたもそれまででしょう。
It is the inarguable truth. Ryder's noble phantasm will utterly destroy the roof. If she hurries, she might be able to carry Shiro away and escape, but Ryder won't stop at just destroying the rooftop. Her master is not strong enough to survive a collapsing building. Meaning, to protect her master, she will have to destroy her enemy, Pegasus and all. She doesn't have time to think about whether this is the right thing to do. Saber glances one final time at her master, still some distance from her. doing his best to fulfill his role simply by gritting his teeth and keeping back.
風よ
Last of her hesitation fades. What is ahead no longer matters. All that matters is this moment, and in it, she must be her master's blade and defeat the enemy they now face.
やれライダー、まずはその女だ。跡形も残すなよ。
I hear the jarring, grating shout. In that moment, Pegasus ascends higher and vanishes from sight. Pegasus flies up into the air. It's already lost its form. Rises up as if to shoot across as if to shoot through the moon, and then continues its arc by flapping its wings, powering itself down towards the ground. Solitude's coming in hot. The blazing white comet streaks downward. It's become an arrow of searing white light. The rider continues urging it on. There's only one target. It intends to annihilate its enemy entirely, and the isolated guardian of the sky along with it.
ベルレ
Okay, Valero speaks its name. A noble phantasm is the miracle that is released by speaking its true name.
Bellerophon, a demigod born of Poseidon, and the only man who tried to fly up to Olympus upon the back of Pegasus.
Ah,
He was shot down with lightning.
classic. Classic. Clearly can't have nothing because of Zeus.
Uncle Zeus, why?
Exactly. It is divine lightning. A thunderous flash. There's no emotion in her eyes as she looks
この
on.
場所ならば人目につかないと言ったなライダー
The wind unfurls from her blade and becomes a storm.
どうかねここなら地上を焼き払う憂いもない
The seal is broken. Layers of wind unfold from her blade. Her sword is finally visible. Storm rages before my eyes. The white light descends upon the roof. Saber, though she is the sole focus of that light, doesn't move. The raging wind. She's the source. No, not Saber herself. Her sword. Okay. I can't believe what I'm seeing. The blade that should be invisible. But there it is. Like unwrapping bandages, the wind slowly coils around her blade. The wind rages on. The multiple layers of seals peel away. The bands of wind dissolve into the air. She readies her now visible sword and turns back towards Pegasus as it dives towards her. The song is so good.
Track is called The Sword of Promised Victory.
Ah, that's a fitting name. Rider approaches as a brilliant flare of light. Bellerophon is now large enough to engulf the entire rooftop, and is only picking up speed to destroy us, building and all. So what Saber's about to do is just hit him with a Dark Souls parry, right? Kong.
My noble phantasm, Red O Perry.
The bridle of chivalry lights up the rooftop. Time stops. In the face of inescapable destruction, my mind goes blank. But the light, it's not coming from the bridle of chivalry. The light churns and builds upon itself. The light of Ryder's mouth is brilliant, but it can't hold a candle to the purity I see in this one. Saber is holding the ultimate sacred sword that has collected the lights of the stars. Okay. Ah, it's Caliber, so it must be King Arthur. This makes sense.
Holy crap, I can finally send you so many Twitter things I see.
Oh, I was about to say, hold on. Did you pull a Piccolo and destroy the moon? But no, it's just a half moon today.
Girl split the sky's hymen.
That certainly was a collection of words that you decided to put together in that order.
I was not programmed for sarcasm.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget to quote yourself. It's a blade of light, shearing through everything it touches. The beam of light destroys Ryder utterly as it cleaves through the clouds and disappears into the night sky. Most likely, if that sword had been used on the ground, it would have carved a trail of devastation through the city. Her sword is not unseeable. It simply does not reveal itself. It is the golden sword that captivates all who behold it, the true name of surpassing fame. Excalibur, the sword of promised victory. The sword that is said to have existed in England. The sword wielded by the king who has become the very symbol of knighthood. The strongest of the servants' noble phantasm, sealed by several bounded fields. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That is Saber's proof of her place as a hero. New servant data added. Boop. Alright. So, check out this new information. Okay, this air, bury the Wind King, and then Caliber. Yakusoku Sareta Shori no Ken.
That's what led to this result. Saber deciding to fight to protect Shiro instead of playing the long game.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Rank A++. Type Anti-Fortress. Range 1 to 99. Max targets 1,000 persons. That's crazy. That's funny. This Excalibur is basically just Mars' sword, strongest at the tip.
Lady of the Lake, what were you on? Question mark, question mark.
uh, okay, okay. What a description. Sword of Light. All right. So, what we got on Rider? Bellerophon, Bridal of Chivalry. A plus. Okay, okay. Anti-army, range 2 to 50. That targets 300. AC becomes plus 100. It really is just D&D, isn't it?
What happens when the DM keeps going past 30?
Yeah. Yeah. And then also Bellerophon to name the boy who rode the Pegasus in Greek mythology. Okay.
I misremembered the word BTW.
By the way.
Bridle, not girdle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because I was like, girdle? I mean, yeah, it's rope. It can help bind. And hence the reason why I was like, yeah, that fits for someone who's an S. That tracks. But
Bridle
yes.
goes in the mouth. Girdle is what Heracles got from the Amazon queen.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah.
We, however, do not know her actual name. Rider, I mean.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We don't get nothing. We just watched her get cut in half and return to wherever it is that spirits be while they wait to be summoned. Limbo, maybe? I don't know.
Greek
Okay.
anti-heroes would require some studies. Especially female.
Yeah, I agree. And then ones that would also fit the bill of being a quote unquote assassin type, too.
Related to Poseidon, maybe?
Yeah, that would make sense. Especially with her having Bellerophon. It'd be funny if it was the actual Bellerophon's mother. It's like, you struck my son down out of the sky. I'm going to assassinate Zeus. Obviously, she failed, but would make for an
Lady, I'm
interesting
not even
story.
from the same continent as you.
Basically. Silence falls over the rooftop. The wind has died down, and not so much as a breeze whispers across the rooftop. I stand, dazed in place. I can't approach Saber. I'm still too confused to act. Or maybe I'm just captivated by her sword. My mind is racing, and I can't seem to think of much that makes sense. Why did she have that sword? I mean, why wouldn't she have the sword? She's the knight. Knights gotta have swords. Or some weapon of sort. But a sword, because she's a saber. Not counting a certain Chinese fan that also dual wields swords despite being an archer, but that's beside the point.
But that specific sword.
Yes, that specific sword. Because she's that girl. But then again, it's probably like confused because the concept of the gender bend. This is what, early 2000s? Had gender bending taken hold?
2004.
Yeah, oh 04? Can't recall if gender bending was super big and popular.
Devil May Cry 2 had just been released, if that helps.
Not particularly. But also, to be fair, I was not super immersed in Japanese culture like I was, or like I am now.
I was too.
Crumbles to dust before your very eyes.
Hey, kinda like Ryder.
Yeah, just like her. Wow. Wow. Usually I can shrug off those things, but that actually was a critical hit. Ouch. Whoa. That's crazy. As I tried to figure out how she came to have something like that, I realized my mind is doing everything it can to deny the simplest of the possible answers. I don't need to be making all these assumptions. That sword's always been hers.
She's the king, baby, and I don't mean Elvis.
Exactly. Yes, Killa. I am old. I'm about to be 30 in October. And that's why her true name is so easy to figure out. The owner of that sacred sword can only have one name. Saber remains motionless where she stands. I should approach her, but my body won't listen. I've been told so many times that Saber is a heroic spirit. Now that I've seen for myself that she is indeed a great hero of the past, I hesitate to even get closer to her. Ah, the silence has been shattered.
Get that motherfucker.
Just punt him off the roof. Problem solved. I hear a shriek. Something is burning in the shadows. I turn to look. I see a burning book slowly dissolving to a pile of ash, and
燃える。レイジが燃えちまう。
does that imply that his command spells were in the book, not on his
He had a
person?
book instead of the tattoo.
Interesting. I didn't know that was an option. But I guess since he doesn't actually have any circuits for the command spells to connect with, if you will, with the whole tattooing thing, I guess that makes sense.
He has books and not biology.
Yeah. Interesting. Only remembered that before. That book. I cast Flare. I see Shinji cringing as he watches the book burn. He must have realized how much trouble he's in now that Ryder has been defeated. Shinji turns and sprints towards the exit from the rooftop. Oi! Leaps through the door to the stairway. I can't let him get away again. The moment I turn to pursue Shinji, just out of the corner of my eye, I see Saber collapse. My mind stops. Shinji is fleeing, and Saber has fallen to the ground. I should. Another fork in the road. Let's see. We can follow Shinji into the building to try to catch up with him and do whatever it is that we're going to do. From a certain bad end, we know that there is a certain third party in this building. Something. We probably should avoid that for the time being. Also, uh, check on Saber. Homegirl collapsed. What's going on? Or are we just aligning ourselves with what happened last time in the bad end route?
Girl took
I.e.,
that M&M song too literally.
oh gosh. One moment, I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. My dryer was beeping
Get
at
your
me.
wife you.
The who what now?
Get your wife you.
Yes, my waifu. I can't leave her alone. Ryder's gone, and the book that acted as Shinji's command spell is burned to ash. Shinji doesn't have a servant anymore, and he's lost his command spells. This contest is as good as over. Saber is my priority now. I rush to her. She's not holding the golden sword anymore. It's disappeared, and now there's just Saber lying on the ground. Saber's in bad shape. Beads of sweat trickle down her brow, and her breath is shallow, labored. She looks like she's got a fever.
そんな。おい、セイバー。何がどうしたって言うんだ。
I call out to Saber nervously, but she doesn't respond. She's out cold.
セイバー。
I touch her forehead. Wow. How hot is she that you touch and you look like you touched the burner on the stove?
Eat I.
Exactly. Eats eye. It's unnaturally hot. She's got to be running a fever of over 40 degrees.
セイバー。おい、しっかりしろ。
108 for Americans.
Okay. I don't think that's quite hot enough to touch and then jerk your hand back. But okay. I call out to her, but her only response is shallow, anguished breathing. I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know what to do, but I can't just stand
うちに
around.
連れて行くからな。文句があるなら後にしてくれ。
Yes. I lift Saber up. She's so light. Light is, light, like her sword. I knew that, of course, but now she seems even lighter. No, more than that,
熱
she's...
い。ちゃんと生きてる。
Well, yeah. Did you feel the intense fever, quote unquote, that she's got going on right now? Saber's still the person I've known all this time. I'm upset with myself for even hesitating. Dang. What's the matter if she's a hero? No matter who Saber is, she's here, and she's still warm. How much of an idiot was I for putting up with this wall between us before?
すぐに帰るからな。それまでおとなしくしてろよ、セイバー。
I start running, Saber in my arms. There's no sense of triumph from this victory. All I fear is Saber in my hands, barely breathing.
終わったわよ。和室に寝かせてきたけど、あの分じゃしばらく目を覚まさないでしょうね。
Ah, yes. Deja vu.
そうか。遠坂がいてくれて助かった。俺じゃあ、セイバーの手当てなんてできないからな。
まあ、鎧を脱がせて楽にさせただけだから、お礼を言われるほどじゃないわ。セイバーの体も良くならないし、私は何もしてないもの。
But still, I'm glad Tosaka was here. The moment I've arrived home carrying Saber, Tosaka understood what was going on. It's been an hour. She tried telling Saber what she was going to do, then took her armor off.
それで何があったの？シンジを探しに行って帰ってきたと思ったらセイバーがあれでしょ。一波乱あったのはわかるけど、説明してくれないかしら。
I don't know how to explain. Saber's noble phantasm. I shouldn't disclose her true name. Correct. I can't decide on my own to reveal that. Also correct.
ライダーを倒した。シンジはレイジを失ってリタイアしたよ。ただ、その時にセイバーが宝具を使って、その後に倒れたんだ。
セイバーの宝具ね。まあ、追求するのは勘弁してあげるわ。今のあなたたちはそれどころじゃないものね。
Correct.
それどころじゃないってどういうことだ？
Time to drop that truth bomb.
言葉通りの意味よ。あなただってうすうすは気づいているんでしょ。このままじゃセイバーが消えるってことぐらい。
She says it so calmly. Osaka just casually brings up the one thing I've been trying so hard to avoid.
消えるって、セイバーが消えるっていうのか、お前は。
当然でしょ。セイバーの魔力はほとんど空っぽなのよ。セイバーの宝具がどんなものだったかは知らないけど、よっぽど魔力を使うものだったんでしょうね。セイバーは自分の中の魔力をほぼ消費してしまった。今彼女が苦しんでいるのはね、消えようとしている自分を必死に留めているからよ。
魔力がないから消える。セイバーは傷を負ってもいないのに消えるっていうのか。
Yep.
ええ、サーバントにとっては外的ダメージより魔力切れの方が深刻な問題よ。
Sounds like Killa is a Ren fan.
霊体であるサーバントに肉体を与えているのは魔力だもの。それがなくなれば消えるしかない。もっともそんなことにならないようにマスターはサーバントに魔力を送るんだけど、あなたはそれができないでしょ。だからセイバーは自分の魔力だけで戦うしかない。切れたらそれまでよ。こんなこと一番初めに説明したでしょ。
That's true. That is definitely what Saber
け
said.
ど、今までは大丈夫だったじゃないか。セイバーだって眠っていれば持ち直すって。
I see, I see. Killa says that he will make pancakes for that girl.
No comment.
それ
Oh.
はセイバーの魔力量が桁外れだったからよ。 そうね。確かにセイバーの魔力はまだ残ってる。彼女ならまだ消えずに肉体を保つぐらいの魔力は回復できるとは思う。けど結局はそこ止まりよ。セイバーはずっと今の状態で戦うことになる。
Oh wow. He said them pancakes gonna be from scratch, none of that out of the box stuff. Fresh fruit, warm syrup, the works.
宝具を使うなんてもってのほか。次に宝具を使えばセイバーは間違いなく消え去るでしょうね。
次に宝具を使えば消える。
Well, I wouldn't want Saber fighting like this at all. I don't ever want to see Saber on her knees in that kind of pain again.
理解できた？結局セイバーを以前の状態に戻す方法は2つだけよ。マスターがサーバントに魔力を提供するか、
Here we
サーバン
go
トが
again.
自分で魔力を
Yup.
補充するか。
Here we go again. A servant collecting it themselves. That would mean killing innocent people, like Ryder.
まさかセイバーはそんなことはしない。セイバー自身がそんなことはしないと言ったんだ。
でしょうね。一般人を犠牲にするぐらいならセイバーは潔く消えるでしょう。なら方法は一つだけよ。セイバーを消したくないのならあなたが魔力を提供するしかないわ。
それはできるならとっくにそうしてるさ。
Well, figure out how to make some energy and provide it. You obviously can't do it the normal way, so find the hidden third option.
けど俺は魔力を提供する方法なんて知らない。あいにく遠坂みたいに何でもできるってわけじゃないんだ。
まあね、共有の魔術を教えてあげても間に合わない。シローは魔術師に向いてないから覚えるのに1年ぐらいかかるだろうし、覚えたところで使えないわ。まあ召喚時にセイバーとパスは通っているはずだから、まだ他に方法があるかもしれないけど。
Eyebrow raise.
いい？セイバーを助けたいのなら彼女自身に人を吸わせて魂を食べさせるし
There
か
are
ない。
other ways of persuasion.
Yeah?
それはあなたにも分かってると思うけど。
It's the most realistic method. But it's
もちろんセイバーは嫌がるでしょう。けど放っておけば遅かれ早かれセイバーは消えて、あなたは他のマスターから狙われることになる。
I mean, that's what the church is for. Go hang out with Shinji at the church. Oh gosh. Assuming that Shinji made it to the church, my money is in fact on no, he did not.
With Herc in the shadows.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying. I would not like to ever run into that man in a dark alley.
A dark building.
That too.
With the elevator cut.
Yeah. And even if the elevator wasn't cut, you still gotta run down 10 flights of stairs just to get to it. Bye forever. Saber's going to disappear? I can't even consider that. I still remember the warmth of her body when I was carrying her.
なら答えは一つよ。
Okay.
レイジを使いなさい、エミヤ君。それで最悪の事態は避けられる。
What she's trying to say is, I need to order Saber to kill innocent people. I can't say anything. I resent what Tosaka is saying, but there's a part of me that has to admit it could be one of our options.
決断はあなたに任せるわ。セイバーは眠らせておけば落ち着くだろうけど、それでも限界は近いでしょうね。
Tosaka leaves the living room. I can't even lift my head. All I can do is listen to the sound of her footsteps receding down the hallway. He will become. Killer said that he'll become the new god of justice of this world, and Saber his weapon. Yes, save that game. Nine to 10. Dragon slaying. All right. Where the dragon at? Altria. That's the name she was given when she celebrated her coming of age.
Arthur with an A. Artorius without the S.
Okay. Interesting. It was wartime. It began with the collapse of an empire. An empire that had been meant to be eternal was slowly starting to die amid invasions from all sides. In preparation for the many wars, the empire deprived an island nation of its military. That is how it began. Having lost the empire's protection, her nation had no choice but to become independent. And over time, it broke up into smaller nations. Invasions came again and again. Internal conflicts between clans spiraled out of control. And came a long period of war which could later become known as the Dark Ages.
The Anglo-Saxons against the Britons.
Yep. It is during this difficult time that she was born, heir to the throne. A long, tumultuous period of war. The king believed in M.H.A's prophecy and so eagerly awaited the birth of his worthy successor. But the child born to him was not the child he desired. The child wasn't male. Fated king or not, the child could not assume the throne unless they were a boy. So the girl was entrusted to the king's retainer and raised as a knight. The king was saddened, but the mage delighted. One's sex had nothing to do with one's worthiness to become king. More than that, the mage was convinced that the girl's abstinence from the castle until the day of the prophecy was proof she was the true king. So she grew up under the care of a simple and wise old knight as his adopted child and successor. The old knight did not believe in the mage's prophecy. He simply raised her to be a knight and hoped for her to continue growing, because he felt something from her that reminded him very much of his own lord.
Sir Hector, by the way.
Oh, okay. But even without the knight's encouragement or intervention, the girl trained every day to become stronger than anyone else. If an alien country headed towards its own demise can only be saved by a king, the girl has sworn to wield her sword for that reason, and for that reason alone, without anyone ever needing to tell her to do so. And then, the prophesied day arrived. Knights and lords from around the nation gathered in hopes of being chosen to be king. If this was to be a contest to determine the best possible king, all assumed the selection would be made in a mounted joust. No, we are not writers here. Instead, all that awaited at the site of selection was a naked blade thrust into a stone. On the hilt of the sword, a glittering golden inscription read, "Whosoever pulleth this sword from this stone is the rightful king of England." Many knights took their turn trying to draw the sword from the stone, but none were able to draw the sword from the stone, so the knights decided to compete in the joust, as they had originally expected upon arriving. The girl was not yet a knight, and so could not participate in the joust. She approached the stone of selection, which sat largely abandoned, its appeal having since long since faded, and reached for the sword's hilt. She did not hesitate.
それを手に取る前にきちんと考えた方がいい。
Merlin.
Okay. Makes sense. She turned around, and before her stood the most feared mage in the nation. He gave his warning. Once she takes hold of that sword, she will cease to be human. She responded only with a nod. To be king is to no longer be human. She has been resolved to this from the moment she was born. To be king is to kill more than anyone, in protection of everyone. The young girl thought of this every night and lay in bed shivering at the implications until morning. Not a day went by that she was not afraid. But in that moment, she pledged that her days of fear would at an end.
The Boy King, an emotionless, eternally youthful tyrant.
Yeah? She drew the sword effortlessly from the stone, and bright light engulfed the whole of the site of selection. And in that instant, she ceased to be human. A king's sex does not matter. So long as they carry out the function of a king, none would care about a king's appearance or even bother to pay attention to such a thing. And even if someone noticed the king was a woman, it would not matter, so long as she was a good king. The sword's magical energy must have halted her growth. While many knights found it eerie and feared her, most saw their lord's immortality as a divine gift. And so, the legendary, celebrated age of the king began. The new king in battle was seen as something of a god of war. The king always led from the front. No enemies could stand in her way. M.H.A, the god of battle. Hailed as a dragon incarnate, she knew no defeat. In 10 years, she fought 12 battles and never lost one. In those days, her chief duty as king was on the battlefield. Not once did she turn back. Not once was she disgraced. She was raised to kingship and fulfilled her obligations without hesitation. Maybe that's why I had a vision of her. Her soul must still be on the battlefield. It's not yet dawn. She stands under the indigo sky and lets the wind whip at her as she stares off into the distance. The sky is high and clouds slide by overhead. Out in the clear air, sword in hand, she gazes at the great army she's about to confront. The image of her won't leave me. It's burned into my mind now. She and her sword are one. The sword from the stone which chose the king. The brilliance of the sword that determined her fate is also her brilliance. But I tilt my head in wonder at the stream. That sword, it isn't the one she holds. It's similar, but different. The one she holds now isn't the one she used last night. But if that's the case, what happened to that incredible sword?
Caliban.
Yeah, this makes sense. Oh. Alright, let's go check out new weapon information. Golden Sword of Assured Victory. Caliburn. Sacred sword that represents King Arthur, England's King of Knights. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Caliburn. Sword from stone. Excalibur. From the Lay of the Lake. Makes sense. Wow. According to legend, Caliburn broke when King Arthur fought in a battle that violated the principles of chivalry. Interesting. Okay. So, got new servant data. That true name. Nice. And a whole profile.
We'll get you the name patch before next time.
Okay. I mean, it's fine the way that it is.
It is not.
Oh, okay. It's not fine. You heard it here first. I will be getting the patch for next time.
Doodle Hell has spoken.
Doodle Hell has spoken. And one does not simply defy Doodle Hell. Alright. When I wake from my dream, I find myself in my own room. It's bright outside. I must have come back to my room last night, unable to make a decision, when falling asleep while I was watching over Saber. The great Techno Hell has spoken, says Killa. Yeah. It was a strange dream. What I saw, I had no way of knowing any of that. That wasn't the Saber I know. Is it even possible for me to dream of such a thing? I racked my brain. Saber's identity had been unclear. Honestly, I still can't get my head around who she really is. Saber is Saber. Plain and simple. I can't change the way I act around her, and I don't think Saber would want that in any case. I agree. Keep it simple, stupid. She looked really cool with that sword last night. But she looked good with the sword in my dreams too. It'd be fair to say I was in awe. The sword last night and the sword from my dreams seemed to have left one hell of an impression on me. I guess I've got a thing for swords. Yeah? Swords are cool. Who doesn't have a thing for swords? I thought Lancer's spear was beautiful when I saw it too, but my passion for swords is on a whole nother level. It would appear I have a thing for swords.
そんなの今に始まったことじゃなかったか。
I draw in a deep breath and reach up, finding my forehead dripping with sweat.
それにしてもなんか暑いな。
Brother, it is February.
That's what I'm saying. Did you catch Saber's fever? I wiped the sweat from my forehead. It's winter, but my body feels flushed. I don't know why, but it feels like my blood is getting hotter, and it's settling.
セイバーの剣を見てからなんか
My whole body's been hot for some reason. My left hand, the one with my command spells, feels like it's holding a hand warmer.
遠坂に宝石を飲まされた時に似てるな。かゆいっていうか走り出したくなるっていうか。
I take a deep breath, trying to calm myself.
セイバーはまだ
Upgrade question mark.
たままか。
That's what I'm saying. Sounds like our boy might actually have a semi-functional magic circuit to provide some magic or something. I don't know. She still hasn't woken up, but it looks like she's stabilizing.
Class change question mark.
Ooh, that would be crazy. Her breathing is even, and that pained look she had last night has smoothed over. Saber is sleeping peacefully. The morning like any other.
もしかしたらこのまま
Maybe if I let her sleep, Saber will recover. That way I won't have to make her kill anyone. Then she could stay with me, just like she has been.
何よ都合のいいこと。
I slam my fist into the wall. You know, I really feel like I've just said these things earlier today. This feeling of deja vu, it just won't go away.
Hold on, we get something extra today.
I know. I tell you, that bad end, it really threw me for a loop because it just did not immediately end. It lets you run with it for a while, thinking that you're in the safe. And then it hits you with a skirt, you're dead. Again, by Ilya.
It's why I was so weird that night.
Understandable. Understandable. My own weakness nauseates me.
セイバーをこんなにしたのは俺だ。その俺が何を。
I stand up without another sound. I don't know when Saber's going to wake up, but I have to make a decision before she does. Sokka's not up yet. The house is completely dead, and the corridor feels deserted. No, it only feels like that because I'm so down. I can't decide what to do, so the whole world feels hazy, and I'm just wandering in the greatness. Oh, I hear something cutting through the air.
ただ庭の方からだけど今のは
I know that sound. Well, I don't feel like making breakfast, so I go take a walk and check it out. It's colder than usual. It must be really cold for me to feel it, feverish as I am. It looks like it might even snow.
蔵の方からだな。あれ。
Oh, shit. Sound of something slicing through the air reaches me at regular intervals. As I cross the yard, my breath mists the air. Find him in front of the shed. Given how unsurprised I am to find him, I guess I figured he'd be here. Yeah? He must have been shooting his arrows. The moment Archer sees me, he lowers his
Red
bow.
Bowman Oni-san.
Oni-san. Fantastic. He lowers his bow in displeasure.
そうだな。人んちの庭で弓なんて引くな。矢が当たったらどうするつもりだ。
Yes. The superhuman man is going to accidentally hit something with his arrows. Okay.
どうするつもりもない。もとより矢など使っていないのだ。いていないものが当たる道理はなかろう。
That's a good point. He doesn't have to tell me that. So the sound was just his bow itself. For some reason, Archer was just plucking his bowstring, not firing arrows.
Dry firing.
いい弓だな。今まで納得いかなかったけど、お前、本当にアーチャーだったんだ。
Yeah? He is indeed a bona fide archer. Though to be fair, I also haven't seen this man's bow yet. I've seen him dual wielding swords out of nowhere.
Look at that beautiful bow.
Right?
It's got the black wood and everything.
私はお前が知っている弓使いとは違うからな。弓道など聞かれても答えられんぞ。
Oh, dang. And here I thought we were about to have a moment, one archer to another.
He's talking about battlefield archery vs the sport archery.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
お前たちの弓は己に当てる射であり、私のは敵に当てる矢だ。お前の言うアーチャーというのは礼節を重んじる者のことだろう。
Wow, he really just hit him with the "we are not the same." His lip curls snidely. Still can't stand this guy.
誰もお前に弓のことを聞こうだなんて思ってないよ。ただ、何をしているか気になっただけだ。
見ての通り、調子を測っているのだが、セイバーにつけられた傷も癒えた。いつまでも見張り役というわけにもいくまい。
That's true. I see. So his wounds have healed. That means Tosaka will get back into the fight. I turn on my heel. If Tosaka and Archer are going to rejoin the battle, I need to make a decision too. I need to go somewhere I can think alone.
斬新という言葉があるな。
Sanshi.
Follow through.
ことを済ませた後に保つ間のことだ。
Heart.
私の弓術とお前の弓道で唯一共通しているものがそれだと思うのだが。
なんだよ。お前なんかに発説を解かれる覚えはないぞ。
Oh, he's actually explaining properly. I'll shut the fuck up.
That's crazy.
まあ聞け。矢を放った後、体は自然と場に止まるという。それを斬新というそうだな。
Yes, there are 8 movements in Kyoto called the Shasho Hasetsu, which are the 8 principles of shooting. The final step, Zashin, is what follows after releasing your arrow.
それがどうしたっていうんだ、お前。
心構えの話だ。斬新とは己の行為。放った矢が的中するかを確かめるものではない。矢とは放つ前にすでに的中しているものだ。射手は自らのイメージ通りに指を離す。ならば当たるか当たらぬかなど確認する必要はない。
You know what? This is awfully fitting right now because in Elden Ring Night Rain, I've been playing a lot of Iron Eye, who is an archer. Which has been a very interesting change of pace because usually in Souls games, I exclusively play a pyromancer of some sort and literally only touch a bow for those like 2 or 3 bosses that you can like stand off to the side and cheese it by just shooting them a bunch of times and not actually have to go up and fight them. So, yeah. Learn a thing or 3. Very applicable. Carry on.
射の前に当たらぬと思えば当たらぬし、当たると思えば当たっているのだから。
Okay, okay.
そんなことあるか。どんなに当たるって思っても当たらない射はある。思うだけで当たるって言うんなら、誰だって100発100中だ。
そうかな。少なくともお前は100発100中だろ。
Got him. He catches me off guard there. I mean, he's right, but
まあ、そんな話はどうでもいい。言いたいことは一つだけだ。斬新とは矢が当たるかどうかを見極めるものではない。ならば斬新とはその結果を受け入れるための心構えではなかったか。
okay, okay.
分かってる。要するに最後まで見届けろって言いたいんだろう、お前は。
そういうことだ。セイバーのことは聞いた。彼女がこのような状態になるのは初めから分かっていたことだろう。魔力の提供もなしで戦っていればいつかは消える。それはもう決まっていたことだ。ならば
all that's left is to accept the result. It's telling me that no matter what I decide, no matter what it does to Saber, all I can do is see it through. I turn my back to Archer. This time, I'm going to be the one to leave Archer hanging. Yeah, that's true. Archer usually does it. Ayo, catch. It's a nugget of wisdom. Poof.
あ、それともう一つ。気がついていないようだから教えておこう。
Oh. You get 2 nuggets of wisdom. What's the second one? His voice comes from behind me.
セイバーはな、宝具を使えば自分が消えると分かっていたはずだ。彼女はおそらく最後まで宝具を使う気はなかったのだろう。
Which does make sense because as we know from the bad end, we never got a segment like, whoa, there was this crazy flash of light from on high, and then I ran up the stairs and found her passed out. It was just a big boom, and there was some fighting, and then I ran up the stairs. She passed out. That makes sense. This time, I hear nothing of his usual sarcasm.
工具を使った理由は一つ。セイバーは自身が消えることよりお前を守ることを選んだのだ。それを決して忘れるな。
For once, his voice is completely sincere. He's only telling the truth here. Well, here we go. The park is empty, as usual. Maybe because it's chillier. Hardly anyone out. Looks like I'm the only one walking around right now. I slumped down onto a bench. Well, I came here to be alone. Now that I'm here, I should think of what to do next. I can't put my decision off any longer. If I want to defeat the other masters and end this Holy Grail war, I need Saber. That's not what this is about, though. I just don't want to lose Saber. That means I would have to have Saber attack people like Ryder did. I can't let her do that. Giving Saber that order is as good as telling her to die. Besides, I think she'd just refuse outright. But when my head slumps down, I see my left hand. I have 2 command spells left. If I use one, I can force Saber to obey me even if she refuses. I bite my lip and shake the thought off. It's ridiculous. Time slips by me as I sit on the bench. I have no idea how long I remain sitting there. But just as my fingers start to tremble from the cold, a child appears. Here we go. I look up, hearing a voice calling to me.
Right, we didn't show up yesterday.
Yep. And I want to say the day before that as well. So I think it's been like 2 days. Or 3. However that math should work out.
Ilia? お前、また一人でこんなところまでやってきたのか。危ないぞ。どこにマスターの目が光ってるか。
I'm about to warn her that other masters might be lurking nearby, waiting to attack. I catch myself, realizing how stupid that would be. Ilia's a master. I shouldn't be worried about her. We're enemies.
悪い。今はイリアと話をする余裕がないんだ。せっかく会えたけど、話し相手になってやれない。今日は冷えるし、帰った方がいいぞ。
I don't get up from the bench as I dismiss Ilia. There are plenty of things I'd like to talk to her about, but I can't think of anything other than Saber right now. Oh, here we go. Huh? What's going on? Ilya doesn't say anything. She's looking at me as if I'm a
イリ
stranger.
ア。いや、別にお前を邪険にしてるんじゃないんだ。今はちょっといろいろと立て込んでいて。
知ってるわ。セイバーが消えかけてるんでしょ。それでチローはどうしようかって考えてるのよね。
Just out of nowhere, Ilya's voice has gotten so cold and
イリ
detached.
ア。
そんなことで悩むなんてバカみたい。シローがそんなだから、ライダーのマスターにも逃げられたのよ。負けたやつなんて殺しちゃえばいいだけなのに。
Wow, she really hit him with the Baka Mitai. King David jumping in chat. I move my feet. Something tells me this isn't a time to be sitting, so I shift my weight forward to get up. But my body doesn't move, as if I'm entranced by
イ
Ilya.
リア。お前、なんでそんなこと。
言うまでもないでしょ。昨日の夜ね、私もあのビルにいただけよ。もっとも、さすがにビルの中で様子を見てるしかなかったけど。
I try to make my hands and feet move, but nothing happens. No, it feels like the more I try to move, the stiffer they get. It's those eyes. Whenever I see Ilya's red eyes, my senses go dull.
あ、もう金縛りになったんだ。シロったら守りも何もないんだもの。一人でいれば簡単に捕まえられるって思ったけど、こんなに簡単に行くなんて可愛いな。
イリア。
無駄だよお兄ちゃん。そうなったらもう動けないわ。もうじき声も出なくなるけど、心配しなくていいよ。私もね、今日はお話をしに来たわけじゃないもの。
Yeah, I know. He came to kidnap me. To kill me and then transfer my mind over to something. Ilya's eyes blaze with murderous intent. This is Ilya as I saw her on the other night, Berserker's master.
俺をここで殺すつもりか。
I grip my teeth and gather all my strength. But my fingers won't so much as budge. Actually, you know what? Speaking of command spells, because that's been brought back to my memory, why didn't he try to use them? Because I mean,
During
like,
the rider fight?
or no, like right here. Because he's obviously got enough control of himself to say, why are you doing this? Why don't you use that time to be like, command spell, do your thing? Assuming that it needs to be voice activated. You know?
With Saber in her current condition.
Yes. Get up off of your sick bed and kill the child. It'll replenish your energy, in fact.
Just punt this little girl.
Yeah. Easy. Quote unquote, theoretically, Berserker's not here. It's like Ilya's stare has frozen every nerve in my body.
うん。だって、もうマスターでいてもしょうがないでしょ。セイバーが消えたら、シローは一人きりだもの。いつまでもマスターにさせてられないわ。 戦う手段がなくなったシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
Ilya raises her hand. Her slender white fingers reach for my chest. Oh Lord.
他の人に殺される前に
Orb.
見つけられてよかった。
They did not have to do that.
それじゃあおやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
My vision fades. My limbs have gone completely numb, and now I can't see either. How long have I been stuck in this darkness? Before I can figure out whether I'm alive or dead, I lose consciousness. My body is burning. Even if my consciousness is falling into darkness, the burning in my body tells me I'm still alive. Yes, that must mean I'm still alive.
We are not a plush.
That's what it sounds like. Even so, it may only be temporary. Ilya even said it.
戦う手段のないシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
Which means, you better go summon a means to fight. She's absolutely right. Without Saber, I can't fight a proper battle. A Holy Grail war is a battle between servants, and there's no way I can go up against servants. That's been proven more than enough by now. Each time I got absolutely thrashed. Like Saber said, all I can do against servants is try to survive for as long as possible. I couldn't even do that. I was cut to pieces and even thrown out of a third-story window. It's only this weird, inexplicable thing going on with my body that's kept me alive. So frustrating. It makes me so angry. In the face of an unbeatable opponent, I couldn't stop the catastrophe in front of me on my own, even though I decided to fight. I said I was going to fight as a master and vowed to not hurt anyone, but I couldn't even keep those promises. I'm upset. The champions of justice I strived to emulate when I was young always had to win, or there would be no point. My body is burning. Every inch of me trembles with the need to win, but I have neither the means to win nor even a way to fight. What good am I? I can't even fight alongside Saber without bringing her down.
それも間違いだ。エミやシロは格闘には向かない。お前の戦いは精神の戦い。己との戦いであるべきだからだ。
Suddenly, I remember Archer saying that.
戦いになればエミやシロに勝ち目などない。お前のスキルでは何をやってもサーバントには通じない。
I know that. I've certainly been reminded more than enough.
ならばせめてイメージしろ。現実で叶わない相手なら想像の中で勝て。自身が勝てないのなら勝てるものを幻想しろ。
You don't have to remind me. I can only win in my own head. But what can I imagine that would ever help me win? I can't imagine beating a servant. I don't have such a wild imagination as to fool myself. So basically, what Archer's saying, it's time to go back to middle school. at least the Chunibyo. Any fantasy I come up with will be full of loose threads that'll come unraveled. My third-rate imagination hasn't got a prayer against those incredible servants. That's why. Who do I win against? And how do I win? I'm still searching for that answer. Am I really searching for it? That golden sword is meant only for her. I don't want it for myself. It's just so beautiful. Just once, I'd like to hold it in my hands if I can. I guess this is just a bad habit I picked up as an untrained mage. Since all I can do is look within myself, I tend to dream about stuff I shouldn't. Should at least be allowed to dream, though. First, I can imagine the thing's basic structure. Reproduce it. Heh. I guess there's not much point in strengthening here. Strengthening is the act of applying something to an existing object. There's not much point in doing that to something that doesn't even exist. It means I need to work harder if I'm going to remember that sword. This is well before the basics. This is from before Kiritsugu taught me strengthening. A magecraft process that I thought up on my own and packed with trivial steps. Let's see. How did I do it? How did I give it form?
The empty stoves.
Yes. When I come to, I have no idea where I am. This place isn't just unfamiliar. It's a luxurious canopy bed, and the plush carpet is ankle deep. Oh my gosh. Ankle deep carpet. Lord. There's even a stone fireplace, and it's clearly not just a decoration. When I initially taped for wallpaper, I realized on inspection is actually patterns engraved in the wall. I've gotten used to fancy decorations like the ones in Shinji's mansion, but this is something else entirely. It's a little embarrassing to say this out loud, but this place is like a castle from a fairy tale. My vision blurs. My body feels strangely heavy. Maybe I'm having circulation problems or something. I feel like I might fall back asleep if I relax even a little. I tried to get my clouded mind working. Oh right, Ilya paralyzed me and I just passed out. There's nobody in the room. My body feels heavy, but not so bad that I can't even lift a finger like before. If I really work at it, I might be able to lift an arm. Yeah? My drowsy mind suddenly jolts to full alertness. I realize I'm in danger. And so study my surroundings carefully. There we go. Oh, not that one.
椅子に座らされて手を後ろに回されてるのか。これは手錠じゃないよな。縄で手首を縛ってるだけか。
Okay. Not as bad as I imagined, but I still can't move. My whole body is weirdly tingly, and I can't get up with my arms tied behind me.
あれからどれぐらい経ってるんだ。時計はないか。
There's nothing in here to tell me what time it is. A window. There's a window behind me. I try to turn and get a look, but the curtains are closed, so I can't see outside. All I can say for sure is that the sun set. I ran to Ilya in the morning, so it's been at least half a day. I don't have time for this. I have no idea where I am, but I need to get back to Saber as fast as I can. Saber's in a weakened state. Can't be even more of a burden to her by letting something like this happen. I try to make my arms move. If I'm going to escape, I have to do something about these ropes around my wrists. Uh-huh. The door opens. I go still just as Ilya enters the room.
あ、やっと起きたんだ。おはよう、お兄ちゃん。体は大丈夫？
Feeling kind of drowsy, very tingly, very immobilized. Ilya's not acting at all like she had earlier. The coldness in her eyes is gone, and she's back to acting like the cheerful girl she's been at the park the other day.
どうしたの？なんか元気ないけど、まだ体は動かない？おかしいな。そろそろ声ぐらいは出せるはずなんだけど。
Ilya peers into my face, looking puzzled. She seems genuinely concerned for me.
大丈夫だ。声は出るし、頭の方も自分が捕まってるってわかる程度にははっきりしてる。
何よ、不満なの？捕まえた敵はね、本当は地下牢に入れておくものなんだよ。
You know what? Whenever you put it that way, I truly am in a great place.
けど、それじゃシローがかわいそうだから、特別に私の部屋に連れてきてあげたのに。
I don't know if that's good or bad. At least I understand what's going on a little better.
なんとなく状況は分かった。俺は捕まって、ここはイリアの住みかってわけか。
I speak flatly, trying to kill my emotions. Till I understand completely what's happening here, I just need to listen.
そうだよ。前に言ったでしょ。私は森のお城に住んでるんだって。ここは樹海の中の城で、周りには何もないわ。シローが住んでる町まで車で何時間もかかるんだもの。助けになんて来るはずもないし、絶対に邪魔も入らない。
そうか。
Uh-huh.
それは分かったけど、なんだってそんなことをしたんだ。
Yeah, why am I still alive? Because in a certain bad end, I woke up and that was a wrap.
俺を殺すんなら、あの公園でできたじゃないか。
なんで？私、シローを殺す気なんてないよ。シローは私のだもん。他のマスターは殺すけど、シローは特別。
Uh-huh. And what makes me so darn special?
The dreaded Brokon.
You know what? Good point. It doesn't come up as often, but yes. Brokon.
だから誰も邪魔が入らないようにシローをここに閉じ込めたの。
Uh-huh. So you're gonna like untie me and I just have to live here forever, right? That's it? That's all that's gonna happen to me? I get to live out my life? Not free, but at least able to reside in this big old fancy mansion, I presume, going off of this room. Ah! I find myself recoiling. Ilya pushes her face closer to me, ignoring my agitation.
イリア、ちょっと。
I know it's inappropriate, but the way Ilya sits on my lap has my heart racing.
Shrio. Shiro.
Yes, exactly. Uh, that is a child. Calm down. She may not be heavy, but the way she's sitting on my lap has me thinking,
Emma slap him.
like for real. Kind of graphic
Get your
thoughts.
head in the game, Carrot Top.
Like for real. Very much towing the line between life and death. You lucked out that you're not dead yet, but we shall see if quote unquote life will treat you any better.
うん。やっぱりシローは
We
特
shall see
別。
who kills you.
Hmm. Uh, yeah, you knew it. We're special. What is confirming that we're
ね
special?
え、私のサーバントになってみない？シローが私のサーバントになってくれるなら、もう殺さなくて済むわ。シローがうんって言ってくれれば、それでシローだけは助けてあげるよ。
Okay. So basically,
Hetero don't.
yeah. So basically, she's offering him to become her familiar, basically servant, but well, but she said servant, so that implies he dies, becomes a heroic spirit, and then gets bound to her. Is that what it's being requested here? Implied
We know
here?
she has limited knowledge of proper magehood.
That's true. That's true. Hmm. So yeah, therefore she probably doesn't quite understand the implications of that. She's just like, I want to keep you forever. Make a contract with me. Then we'll be together forever and ever, and then it's going to be great. Or something like that. Ilya's words are so pure and heartfelt. I know that if I nod even once, it'll be a choice I can't unmake. I will absolutely come to regret it. On the other hand, if I refuse, that purity would turn into pure wickedness. With Ilya leaning so close, my mind grinds to a screeching halt. She's not saying this just because she likes me. This is more like an interrogation, a matter of whether I want to live or die.
考えるまでもないでしょ。シローにはもうセイバーはいないんだも
Hetero
の。
don't, but in
戦
all
う手
caps.
段なんてないわ。
Yeah,
ならマスターでいてもしょうがないじゃない。
違う。セイバーはまだ消えていない。そんなことさせるもんか。
けどそんな状態じゃ簡単に殺されちゃうよ。いいからシローはここにいればいいの。シローがずっとそばにいてくれるなら、私もずっとシローを守ってあげる。
yep, there's her line. We'll stay together forever and ever, and I'll protect you forever and ever.
Sweet
Ilya,
baby.
yeah. Ilya presses close against me. I'm not sure what'll happen if I refuse, but I still can't agree.
ダメだ。離れるんだ、イリア。どんなに言われても、俺は。
Ilya presses her index finger to my lips. She giggles in amusement and watches me in my bewilderment.
もう分かってないんだから。いい？今のシローはカゴの中の小鳥なのよ。生かすも殺すも私の自由なんだから、 あんまり私を怒らせるようなことは言っちゃダメ。10年も待ったんだもの。ここでシロを簡単に殺しちゃうなんて、そんなのつまらないでしょ。
Ilya talks like she's asking for a toy. The sheer cold heartedness in her voice sends a shiver down my spine.
これで最後だよお兄ちゃん。もう一度だけ聞いてあげる。
Ilya's eyes shine with hope.
シロ、私のものになりなさい。
Ilya's tone is bewitching, and Brooks, no refusal.
No deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't do that. No. Who cares if this might lead to a bad end? No. Ko Towaru. I don't even need to think about it. Crap. Even I only have so much patience. Every single one of them is sure Saber's going to disappear. Saber won't disappear. I'm going to fight with her until the end. I can't let this destroy the oath we made.
イリア、お前の言うことは聞けない。俺にはセイバーがいる。セイバーが残っている限り、マスターとして戦うだけだ。
A soft gasp. For a second, her red eyes snapped open as if she'd just gone into rigor mortis. Odd choice of comparison, but okay.
そう。あなたまで私を裏切るのね、シロ。
Who else betrayed you? And why is it they didn't betray you, but you're just a child and always want what you want and can't accept people telling you no? Ilya backs away. She looks down, but maintains her composure.
いいわ。シロが私の言うことを聞かないなら、私もシロの言うことなんて聞かない。今まで見逃してあげたけど、それもこれでおしまいなんだから。
Ilya's voice is dripping with hostility now. Something terrible lurking behind that
待
malice.
っていなさい。すぐに用を済ませてくるから。
待て、何をするつもりだ、イリア。
何って、セイバーとリンを殺しに行くの。二人を殺してくれば、シロも少しは後悔するでしょ。
バカなことを言うな。セイバーもトーサカも関係ない。俺は自分だけの都合でイリアとはいられないって言ってるんだ。
I retract my statement of sweet baby.
Yeah.
そうなの？けど、二人は殺すわ。それが終わったら、次はシロの番よ。私のものにならないのなら、シロなんていらないもの。
I hear Ilya's footsteps moving off. Ilya's serious. She really means to go kill Saber and
や
Tosaka.
めろイリア。セイバーもトーサカも関係ないだろう。捕まってるのは俺なんだから。憎いって言うなら俺だけにしろ。二人を殺す理由なんてない。
理由はあるわ。私以外のマスターは生かしておけないもの。それが聖杯戦争でしょ。
バカ、簡単に人を殺すなんて言うな。お前にはそんなの似合わない。イリアはまだ子供なんだから、そんな真似だけはしちゃダメだ。
Ilya stares at me in disbelief.
残念ね。私はもうマスターを殺してるんだよ、お兄ちゃん。
Sounds so joyful as she says it.
もっとも、それは昨日の話だけど、予想外といえば予想外だったかな。 私あいつはお兄ちゃんが手を下すって思ってたのに。
As expected,
I
Shinji
take it back
did.
again, she is a sweet baby for that kill.
Yeah, yeah. Like I expected, Homeboy was going to run downstairs, run into her, and say, oh no. And then she said, he, silly boy, goodbye. And that was a wrap.
Crunch.
That's the truth. Bataka. Kill. In that instant, I surprisingly understand exactly what she's talking about. Ilya was in the building last night, which means she must have seen the master running for his life as the perfect prey.
イリア、お前。
ごめんね、シローがやらないから私がやっちゃった。本当は横取りって好きじゃないんだけど。
But you're perfectly fine with coercing coercing people into becoming yours instead of letting them maintain their autonomy. Okay. Okay. She doesn't sound guilty at all. Probably meant nothing to her. Makes me realize something. I've probably known this since the moment we first met. She really doesn't know the difference between good. That innocent laugh is just as much Ilya as the merciless laugh I hear now. Not that Ilya has a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. Ilya, however angelic she may look, is a devil.
それじゃあ行ってくるわ。帰ってきたらシローの番なんだから、せいぜい逃げ出す努力でもしていなさい。
Well, I thank you for giving me permission to escape. Make sure you tell Berserker, well, he's going with you, so make sure you tell your maze to just let me go, okay? It'd be great.
もっとも、カゴから逃げ出せないから、小鳥は小鳥なの。
No, I have seen many a bird in a cage unlock said cage and fly away.
You underestimate my power.
Like, for real.
お兄ちゃんじゃ、この鳥かごからは出られないでしょうけど。
But you don't know me. We've met, what, 3 times? 4? Including this? You don't know me.
You must not have heard, I'm the new sheriff in town.
Iliad leaves. She is absolutely right, of course. She knows nothing of threats or tactics, so she just says what's true. But I can't stay here forever. I need to escape and meet up with Saber before Ilya can attack her. I shake myself, trying to loosen the ropes around my wrists. Maybe she really doesn't think I can escape. There's no one else here. If I'm not being watched, even I can manage to get out of some ropes, but... my body just won't listen to me. My limbs move, but they're heavy as lead, and just trying to move at all is exhausting.
イリアのやつ、これを見越して逃げられないなんて言ってた。
I can't move like this. Even if I could get out of the rope, I won't be able to escape the room if I can hardly move.
重いのは疲れてるからじゃないよな。そっか。イリアの目を見て それで動かなくなったんだっけ？
They must be mystic eyes. I hear truly superior mages can perform some sort of magecraft just by making eye contact with their target. Restraint is a common effect of mystic eyes, so that's probably what's going on here. Eyes are how we take in visual information, and so are susceptible to suggestion spells. And that is why most mages employ some sort of protection on their eyes to block out other mages' magecraft.
呪文もなしの暗示じみた金縛りにやられるなんて、遠坂が聞いたらなんて言うか。
Yeah. Well, at least that was from mystic eyes learned through magecraft. Some monsters are born with mystic eyes and don't even need to lock eyes with their target. Here, all they need to do is look to use whatever ability they have. And it's also extremely rare for people to have powers like that. Here's looking at you, Gorgons. And luckily, Ilia's mystic eyes aren't unique or special. They're just a means of sending magical energy at a target. That means there has to be a way to dispel the effect. Ilia's magical energy is invading my nerves, preventing me from moving. If I can get rid of that magical energy, that should fix my
単
paralysis.
純な話だ。泥が溜まってるなら水を流して洗えばいい。
Yeah, that makes sense. I close my eyes and focus inward on my own body. I may not have the skill to detect and remove foreign magical energy that's invaded my body, but I don't need anything like that so long as I'm dealing with magical energy that hasn't become a curse and taken root in my body. If Ilia's magical energy is lingering, stagnant in my body, I just need a strong flow of magical energy through my body to flush it
悪い
out.
な。乱暴なやり方だけど、あいにくそんなことしかできないんだ。
What are you saying it's hard to? Oh, the body. Yeah, this one. I apologize to my body for what I'm about to put it through. All I have to do is focus on my daily routine. Ritual where I force a foreign nerve down my spine. No, not anymore. I don't need to build it from scratch anymore. Now all I have to do is just flip the switch in my head. Instead of creating a magic circuit in my body, I just have to switch my nerves into a magic circuit.
トレース、オン。
I murmur the spell to focus myself. You don't use spells to change the world around you. They're to be used on yourself to empower you to change the world. Mages, they're a way to initiate a kind of self-transformation. Spells are the first, most basic magecraft used to create a mystic just for you. A command that will only work on you.
基本腰。解明。
Blood flow accelerates. Power builds in my blood. My body is becoming a machine for circulating magical energy. Probably thanks to the gem Tosaka made me swallow. Normally this would take me at least an hour. Now I'm able to do it almost instantaneously.
切裁室。解明。
I don't even need to flip the switch at this rate. I can just let the magical energy circulate and let my hands go. Actually, I say flip the switch, but I still haven't found the switch to begin with. Heat rushes into me. I try to get control over my pounding heart and my hands slip from the buckling reins. Whoops. Blood splurts from my mouth. Must have opened a vein or torn something inside myself. Channeled enough magical energy to flush out the mud that invaded me, so it's no wonder I'm throwing up blood. Luckily, I don't feel any pain.
痛みがないのは 自然治癒かな。
Well, maybe. It's an abnormality of my body that I still don't understand, but I'm delighted to have it at a time like this. The ability to heal any non fatal wound is my biggest and only strength right now. I do need to be careful not to rely on it too much, though, but there are always limits. Since I still have no idea how it works, relying on it too much risks losing it all. But I can't rely on miracles. So I can't rely on miracles I don't understand.
よし、あとは縄だけだ。
I undo the rope. My wrists were bruised, but I wasn't bound tightly enough to cut off circulation. Oh, okay. Nice. I don't think Ilya tied me up, but I wasn't bound very tightly. Besides, I doubt it was Ilya who carried me in here anyways. Who here, other than Ilya, might not be all that strong?
バーサーカーは論外だ。あいつが縄を締めたら、その時点で俺の手首なんてへし折られてる。
Yeah, that's an understatement. I rise to my feet as I try to crack a joke.
Picturing those big hands doing tiny dexterous things.
Yeah, it is certainly an image. I can control my body, but I pushed it too far. While I may not be injured, magical energy is raging through my body. Just moving around is likely to tear my insides up. It's probably the pain. Dizziness and nausea rack my entire body, and I have no feeling at the ends of my arms and legs. I'm not going to get home before Ilya gets back. Not like this.
何を弱気な。そんなこと言ってる場合じゃない。
You should look for a phone. See if you can call out. I slap my cheeks and start walking. But,
A phone in a castle.
yeah. I highly doubt Ilya's out here running around with a cell phone, so yeah. I mean, she definitely could afford it, but I highly doubt that she has one. Landlines. As soon as I lean against the wall and start moving towards the door, I hear something on the other side of the wall. Footsteps. More than one set of footsteps. People are approaching my door and talking. They stop right in front of my door.
くそ、なんだってこのタイミングで。
No time to hide. I need to. Oh. Another fork in the path. I just got to fight. The moment the door opens, I make the first move. Alright. I'm in no state to fight. I sit in the chair and pretend I'm tied up. I can see that being halfway decent, also a potentially terrible idea. And then what about that bed over there? I feel like the correct answer here is just bum rush them. Open up the door. Hey, I'm out of here. Bye-bye. And hope everything pans out. Other than that, the bed is not a terrible idea. The only thing is, this carpet is ankle deep. You're going to see those footprints. It's going to be very obvious that you are underneath the bed.
Crawling around like a bottom feeder in the reeds.
Basically. Which, you know, would be on brand for me right now. I am in the middle of playing Metal Gear Solid 2. Not the in the reads part, but just the crawling around and being stealthy. I'm gonna say fight or flight, and I'm gonna fight. And if this leads me to a bad end, well, dang, here I thought I could have dodged it. Victory goes to the one who makes the first move. I need to fight. I can't hide. I don't have time for that anyway. I need to get back out there just as fast as I can and get back to Saber. Door opens. I push myself up against the wall right behind the door. Scout opens the door but doesn't enter the room. Hold on. The chair is visible from the entrance, even without coming in. Whoever's peeking in will know what's going on just from seeing the empty chair where I'm supposed to be sitting. You know what? That makes sense. That is, in fact, the vantage point that we have. Whoops. Crap. If they call for backup right now, escaping would get a lot harder. I'm just going to have to hurry out and take on whoever's on patrol. Push off from the wall and rush towards the door. And then they must have figured I was hiding because they step into the room as soon as I jump out. No chance of stopping now. Wherever I'm up against, I just need to knock them out and escape. How you doing that? I don't know, but knock them out and escape. Wow, that was easy. Man, that's crazy. What you doing here, girl? Like, for real. How did you get here so fast?
We will return for the bed option later.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. I freeze. My mind goes blank. The very person I have to go save is standing right in front of me.
セイバー、どうしてここに？
And in your street clothes.
どうしてなんてそんなことは言うまでもないでしょ。サーバントがマスターを守るのに理由はいりません。シロが囚われたのなら助けに来るのは当然ではないですか。
That actually makes perfect sense because we literally have been gone half the day. I went out this morning and never came back. Of course, as soon as she wakes up, it's like, where's my boy? What do you mean my boy's gone? And then by the power of LoJack, finds me way out here in the forest. Amazing. Well done, girl. Well done.
いや、だからどうして俺が捕まったって知ってるんだよ。
What do you mean, how does she know? You didn't come home.
そんなことより、どうしてここにいるんだ、セイバー。
Not why, because that's still obvious. How are you here? Better question.
ここはイリアの隠れ家だぞ。今のセイバーが近寄っていい場所じゃない。
それは私のセリフです。あなたこそ何をやっていたのですか。
Exactly. What are you thinking? Letting yourself get captured? Bonk.
Like an old married couple.
For real though.
やすやすとイリアスピールに拉致され、このような場所に監禁されるなんて。
Easily at that. How she knows it was easy? It's a fair assumption.
シロはマスター失格です。この件については何らかの謝罪をしてもらわなければ気が済みません。
Savage. I love it.
確かにそれは軽率だった。けど、どうしてセイバーがここにいるんだ？
This is not the time. You're still in her hideout. You should dip.
セイバー、満足に動けないんだろ？だっていうのに、イリアの本拠地に来るなんて、 何考えてるんだ。
あなたこそ何を考えているのです。
Uh-huh.
サーバントはマスターを守るもの。シローが囚われたのですから、イリアスピールの本拠地だろうと関係はありません。
Saber is blunt as ever. She's exactly as she's always been. This isn't the weak, slumbering Saber from last night.
シロー、どうしたのです？急に黙り込んで。やはり捕まっている間に傷を負ったのですか？
I mean, yeah. Don't you see this giant puddle of blood that I coughed up earlier?
いや、そうじゃない。俺のことはいいんだ。それよりセイバーこそ元気そうでよかった。
Now hug her tight. I'm genuinely relieved.
Hug the Lion King.
Like, for real. I'm surprised to see Saber here, but I'm much happier to see that she's herself. I know it's selfish of me to think this way, but I think this is how Saber should be.
すまなかったな、セイバー。事情はよくわからないけど、俺を助けに来てくれたんだろ？
はい。サーバントとしてマスターを救うのは当然ですから。
ありがとう。お前が来てくれて本当に助かった。
What a relief. Everything sorted itself out, except the fact that you're still in enemy territory. Now I just need to get out of here with Saber. Why does she keep doing this?
Jazz music stops.
It really does. She just be appearing in the background whenever we're having these moments. Why does she do this? Every time. Oh gosh. Chotomate. Is that Osaka?
トサカ。
Are you real? Are you really right here?
思ったより元気そうじゃない。これじゃあ私たちが出向く必要もなかったかしら。
Girl, please.
だからそう言っただろ、リム。エミやシロなど放っておけと。
Of course he said, don't bother rescuing him.
Like a disappointed uncle.
For real. Dang. Absolute savage.
聞き捨てなりません、アーチャー。助力を頼んだのは私ですが、あなたにシロを侮辱する権利などないはずです。
Don't worry, I will be sure to, or he will be sure to do so during the next nugget of wisdom deliverance moment.
いざ主が助かればそれか。マスターもマスターなら。
We have one more this route actually.
協
Awesome.
力者に対するありがたみなどないようだな。ま、いずれ戦う身だ。情など持たれない方がやりやすくはあるが。
Yeah, that is a good point. Must have hit a nerve as Saber grows silent. This guy. He's not just unfriendly with me, he treats Saber the same way.
そこまでよ。今がどんな状況なのか忘れてるわけじゃないでしょうね、あーちゃん。
Like, for real.
おしゃべりなんてしてる暇はないわ。イリアスフィールが戻ってくる前に撤退しないと。
ちょっと待ってくれ。トサカたちはここがイリアの住みかだって知っててきたのか。いや、そもそも。
Well, no, duh, of course. Ilya left saying she was going to kill Tosaka and Saber. means Ilya and Tosaka passed each other.
助かった。今頃イリアはうちに向かってると思う。遠坂たちがここに来てくれなかったらイリアと戦う羽目になってた。
ええ、そうみたいね。イリアとバーサーカーが外に出たのは確認したわ。まあそうでもなければこんなところまで忍び込まないけど。
I get it. Saber and Tosaka only managed to pull something so bold off because they saw Ilya leave. She's bold as ever, but this time, that brazenness worked to our advantage. I'm thoroughly impressed.
とにかく話は後よ。ここがアインツベルンのアジトって分かった時は覚悟してきたけど、合わないんならそれに越したことはないでしょ。
I agree.
セイバーがそんな調子じゃバーサーカーには太刀打ちできないしね。
Yeah. Tosaka gestures for me and Saber to
遠
separate.
坂、セイバーがそんな調子ってどこがだよ。
Come on now. Yes, she's up and moving around, but the rules, all the things we discussed earlier last night, that still applies. Come on now. Keep up with us.
顔色もいいし、もう以前のセイバーじゃないか。
あなたね、そんな都合のいい話があるわけないでしょ。
Like for real.
セイバーは全く回復してないわ。立っているだけが精一杯って見てわからない？リン、それは黙っていると約束したはずです。
Oh.
悪いわね、そんなの破棄よ。黙っていてもマイナスなだけだし、そもそも隠し通せる問題じゃないわ。
That's true.
それはそうですが、しかし
She sounds so pained. And now I see nothing has changed about her situation.
セイバー、今の話は本当なのか？
We are really just having this whole conversation. Still in the middle of this room. I haven't moved even a single inch.
Visual novel things.
You know what? Fair enough. All things.
はい。リンの言うことは正しい。恥ずかしい話ですが、今の私ではセイバーとして戦うことはできません。できることといえば、シローの盾になることぐらいでしょうか。
Mighty Guard.
そんなことだろうと
You
思
know
うわ。
what? We'll take it.
武装もできないぐらい弱ってるくせに、一緒に行くって聞かないんだもの。
Yeah, I was wondering why she was out here in the street clothes and, you know, not her typical armor.
戦えない代わりにマスターをかばおうとでも思ったんでしょう。
Yes, jazz music has stopped once again. She's so weak she can't even arm herself. She was willing to become my shield since she couldn't fight? What kind of absurd nonsense is she saying? Make it sound like you're any different. Anyways.
すまないシロー。このような体ではサーバント失格だとは分かっていますが、それでも盾の役割はできます。不服だとは思いますが、今はそれで。
Oh, come on. Why does Saber ever think of why does Saber never think about herself? Why is she only ever worried about everyone else?
Just who the hell do you think I am?
不服に決まってるだろう。
Like for real. And then this boy out here yelling. Oh my gosh. But I guess at least they're in the room yelling and not in the middle of the hallway.
遠坂、お前なんだってセイバーを連れてきたんだ。
Somebody smack some sense at this man. Archer, do it. I know that you've been waiting for this moment all your life.
今は俺のことよりセイバーの方がずっと大事だって分かってたんじゃないのか。
Archer pimp slap him out the window. Give us a
Exactly.
head start.
Exactly.
けどセイバーはどうしてもって聞かないし、 そもそもセイバーじゃないとあんたの居場所はわからなかったわ。危険なのは百も承知だけど、それでもセイバーは必要だったの。
Also, Saber's face. Huh? Why are you so upset? Also, what's 35, Killa?
お前それでも
I want to tell her she shouldn't have bought Saber, but stop myself. I have no business criticizing. I'm glad you understand. This is only happening because I went and got myself captured. So Sokka and Saber were just doing what they thought was right.
口喧嘩も結構だがな。今はそこまでにしておけ、リン。マスターならば自分の住処の異常には敏感だろう。悠長に説明している暇はないぞ。
Thank you, Red Bowman.
That's what I'm saying. At least somebody's on objective.
そうね。イリアスフィールのやつ、今頃慌てて戻ってきている頃だものね。
Yep.
いいわ。話は後にしてあげる。今はこの城から出ることが先決よ。それでいいわね、シロ。
Yeah. Let's go. Down bounce.
シロ、私たちも。
いやけど
Yeah, but what? You can walk. Keep going. She'll be alright. If Saber is as bad as she was last night, it'll be hard for her to even walk right now. She'll be alright. She made it here. She'll make it back home the same exact way. I don't want to push Saber any harder than I have already.
まったく。どうやら私も甘く見られたものですね。
Tell him how it is.
セイバ
いくら魔力が尽きているとはいえ、今でもシローよりは戦えます。私から見れば、シローの方こそ消えてしまいそうで怖い。
Savage. I love it.
リンは気がついていないようですが、体内の魔力が乱れているのではないですか。
いやけどこんなのは大したことじゃない。我慢。俺はその全然大丈夫だぞ。本当。
You lie to her.
では、私もシローと同じです。苦しいですが、我慢しきれないものではありません。
Two peas in a pod.
突然のことで状況がつかめないと思いますが、今はリンに従いましょう。話をするのなら、それは家に帰ってからです。
Saber encourages me to go. I give up. Looks so serious, so determined that I can't worry anymore.
そうだな。話したいことは山ほどあるけど、それは無事に帰ってからにする。
I want to ask about Saber's condition, and I want to thank her for coming to rescue me. Now isn't the time to ask her about that dream I had.
よし行こうセイバー。
I nod and get moving as best I can. Every step is a supreme effort, but this isn't the time for whining. Even weakened as she is, Saber came all the way here. Oh my gosh. This mansion is extravagant. A hallway?
Castle, Richard.
I mean, yes. I agree. But yeah. It's wow. So extravagant. This corridor wouldn't be out of place in a museum. Ilia's castle must be massive.
ちょっと見とれてる場合じゃないわよ。この城から出ても外は一面樹海なんだから急がないと朝になるわ。
Oh, yeah, that is true. Something, something. Ilya said there's a 4-hour drive to get back to town.
4-hour drive is crazy on foot.
じゃあここ
Yeah.
本当に山の中なのか。宮山町から車で何時間っていう。
Okay, it's a couple hours. Okay, that's better, assuming that he's remembering correctly.
そう、アインツベルンの隠し城よ。この城から出た後、何時間もかけて森を抜けなくちゃならないの。今は夜だし、朝日が昇るまでには森を抜けるわよ。
So Sokka heads through the hallway, not hesitating for a moment. He's probably heading towards wherever door they snuck in through.
今が夜なのは知ってたけど、一体どのぐらい捕まってたんだ、俺は。
Thought it's about half a day, but maybe it's actually been a few days.
シローがイリアスフィールに囚われたのは朝方でしょ。
Oh, okay.
それから半日が経過しています。日付は変わってしまいましたから、形の上では丸一日囚われていたことになりますね。
Okay, okay.
そうか。面目ない。
いいえ、そのようなことはありません。イリアスフィールに捕まってこれだけの時間が過ぎたというのに、シローは無事でした。体は囚われの身でも心では負けなかった証ではないですか。
Is this that thing that Archer was trying to tell us about winning in our mind?
それはそうかもしれないけど。
ええ、イリアスフィールは少女に見えてもアインツベルンの魔術師です。もし彼女に屈していたのなら、シローはシローではなくなっていたでしょう。私とてその可能性を考慮しなかったわけではありません。最悪あなたは死んでいるものと覚悟してこの城に足を踏み入れたのです。
But wouldn't you know that he was dead? Because your connection would A, be severed, and B, start disappearing. I mean, yeah, well, yeah, you would just start disappearing. Probably almost immediately, given that you don't have your gigantic magical reserves to be like, I'm going to persist as a free agent for a while. And then maybe make a new contract. You know?
She's not an archer with independent action after all.
Exactly.
マスターが無事な姿を見せているのですから、私も負けるわけにはいきません。
Yeah. I feel the same. I couldn't stand not knowing if Saber was safe or not.
ちょっとやる気あるのかっていうのよ。
I swear they just keep having these moments and then she just appears in the background, shattering the atmosphere. Also, new facial expression for her.
Hang in there for me, Richie. I'll let you know what a good stopping point is.
Alright, sounds good.
もたもたしてると本気で先に行くからね。
Oh my gosh. What are you doing yelling in this hallway? What about all the people, TM, that are supposed to be in here? Maybe.
やば、話してる場合じゃなかった。急ごう、セイバー。
Lord. I break into a run, urging Saber to do the same. Ugh. Everything hurts, but I grip my teeth and keep going. I drive my aching body on, following Tosaka. As I half limp, half run, Saber brings up the rear. She must be in a lot of pain, too. She's pretending not to be, but she's in no condition for this. I want to tell her I'd give her a helping hand, but I stopped myself. Saying that would just make Saber dig in her heels and be more determined not to accept help. Ah, he's learning. All I can do is keep an eye on her. Saber's too exhausted to complain, I'll just carry her. Honestly, Saber can be so incorrigible at times, says the man who is incorrigible like all the time. She has to be forced to even take a break. And so, with Tosaka leading the way, we managed to get to the exit. Lord. You know what? No one would ever expect you to go out the front door.
何当たり前のこと言ってるのよ。玄関っていうのはそういうものでしょ。入る時も出る時もここが一番手っ取り早いんだから。
A fantastic response. Tosaka hurries down the stairs. Well, I'm in no position to complain. Saber and I head down the stairs and into the hall. It looks like a lobby. All we have to do now is head through the big door at the other end of the hall and we're out.
よし、ここまで来たら大丈夫。問題は森に出てからだけど、まあ夜だし、闇に乗じて国道まで出られるかな。イリアスフィールが戻ってきて、シロがいないって気づいたところで、後の祭りよ。あいつが帰ってくる頃には朝になっちゃってるしね。何よシロ、その顔。いかにも服そうだけど。
いや、別に。遠坂は大物だなって再確認してただけだ。変なところでおかしな確認するのね、あなた。
Yeah. Well, I was more getting at her just walking into the enemy stronghold through the front door.
まあいいわ。とにかく外に出ましょう。帰り道は覚えているから迷うこともないしね。
Nice. Glad someone knows what they're doing. Head towards the entrance. A long, narrow hall extends from the lobby, and at the end of it is an enormous door. The hall is, unbelievably, about 30 meters long, my lord. I'm reminded that we're standing in an actual castle, but in the next moment...
なんだ、もう帰っちゃうの？せっかく来たのに残念ね。
As expected. Because as soon as they said something, something, masters know that there's a tremor in the force whenever something changes in their own house. Of course, she's about to hit the quickest Yui in the middle of the road and come straight back. Lilia shouldn't be here, but her giggling voice echoes up and down the hall. I whirl around. Everyone skids to a stop. The instant we see our enemy, we know we're dead as soon as we turn our backs to them. Lord. Tosaka's voice trembles. Back at the other end of the hall, We see her standing at the top of the stairs we just descended. She shouldn't be here. Ironically, it's a similar arrangement to our first meeting. Ilya standing above us with Berserker behind her. Berserker's presence is overwhelming. Now that I can assess a servant's strength, I understand what a monster he really is. We can't do this. Even if Saber was at full strength, Berserker is just too powerful. It wouldn't even be a battle. That monster can't be beat. Not in a fight. If we are ever going to beat Berserker, we have to figure out how to do it without fighting him. In other words, if we want to live, we need to stay far away from Berserker.
こんばんは。あなたの方から来てくれて嬉しいわ、フィン。
Ilya's voice is cheerful and bouncy. She's smiling that same smile I saw the night we met. Innocent but merciless. She won't settle to squash us like bugs. And that's when I realized we're not going to escape. Period. No matter what I do, I can't stop Ilya. Even if I try to draw Ilya's attention, that won't let Tosaka and the others escape.
どうしたの？黙っていちゃつまらないわ。せっかく時間をあげてるんだから、遺言ぐらい残した方がいいと思うな。
Girl, please. But if you're giving me time to write a will, hey yo, you got some good stationery I can write it out on? I kind of was captured, so I don't have any of my pencils or paper, you know. So
That'd be a better line if you were 3 feet taller.
Yeah. She giggles. But we don't have time for these kinds of games. We need to run to the entrance the second we find an opening. Even if we know we'll never get an opening, all we can do is wait and hope.
じゃあ一つ聞いてあげる。
Even in this situation, Tosaka takes a step closer towards Ilya.
リリアスフィール、あんたが戻ってきた気配はなかったけど、もしかしてずっと隠れてたのかしら？
そうよ。私はどこにも行っていないわ。私はね、ここからあなたたちの道化ぶりを眺めていただけ。
Yeah, that tracks. That certainly does track, because they certainly have been making a fool of themselves.
そう。外に出て行ったのは偽物ってわけ。
ええ、あなたたちが来ることは分かってたもの。私は主人なんだから、お客様のおもてなしをしないといけないでしょ。
Yeah, that is in fact how that works. I feel compelled to agree. Yes, yes. Right then, the giant vanishes. I'm not sure if it just jumped or just moved. Next thing I know, Berserker appears in the middle of the lobby, creating a whirlwind. This is the end for us. If we retreat towards the entrance, he'll slice us in half with that axe sword the moment we turn our backs to him. Yeah, we did that bad in. But we're dead if we stay here too. Our only option is to challenge that walking mass of death, however futile it'll be.
おしゃべりはおしまい。それじゃあ、始めよっか、バーサーカー。
The pale girl raises her hand as if performing a ritual and looks down on us. Her declaration is equal parts murderous intent and delight. Oh Lord, he's activated. Berserker's eyes light up. Before Berserker had only moved only as Ilya ordered, but now he's free to act, and he identifies us as enemies. Something's making a grinding sound. Sasaka grits her teeth hard, as if in regret.
聞こえる？
Sasaka speaks quietly without turning.
少しでいいわ。一人であいつの足止めをして。
She just orders her servant to his death. Archer doesn't answer.
バカな。正気ですかリン。アーチャー一人ではバーサーカーにはかなわない。
私たちはその隙に逃げる。あーちゃんには私たちが逃げ切るまで時間を稼いでもらうわ。
Sasaka continues giving her orders, ignoring Saber. Her voice is cold, devoid of any emotion. Archer, who had been silent as if pondering something, his eyes fixated on Berserker, gives a slight nod.
賢明だ。リンたちが先に逃げてくれれば私も逃げられる。単独行動は騎兵の得意分野だからな。
I think we were just talking about. Takes a step forward as if to protect Tosaka. Berserker doesn't move. Ilya's laughter echoes from above.
へえ、びっくり。そんな誰とも知らないサーバントで私のヘラクレスを止めるって言うんだ。
Wow, disrespectful.
なんだ、案外可愛いとこあるのね、リン。
Neither Tosaka nor Archer are in any position to object. They know better than anyone. Archer steps forward. He's empty-handed, as usual. Tosaka looks at Archer's back. There's nothing she can say to him. She must know her orders are absurd. They're amounted to telling Archer to die so we could escape.
あーちゃん、私。
Sokka's about to say something, but
ところでリン、一つ確認していいかな。
Archer interrupts her, speaking so nonchalantly that it seems out of place.
いいわ。何？
Sokka turns towards Archer, her eyes downcast. Archer's gaze stays locked on Berserker.
まあ、時間を稼ぐのはいいが、別にあれを倒してしまっても構わんのだろ。
In the translation I read, the line he says here is, "You don't mind if I kill him, right?"
Man, that is a raw line. Man, you don't mind if I just eat him, right? I know you're stealing your resolve. It's like, oh no, I'm sending him to his death so we can escape. Ah, man, sounds completely ridiculous.
Even
あー
if
ちゃん、
he's not the
あん
best
た。
athlete, that's a nat 20 intimidation.
If you could go over 20, that's what he rolled.
ええ、遠慮はいらないわ。ガツンと痛い目に合わせてやって、あーちゃん。
Hmm.
そうか。ならば、期待に応えるとしよう。
Archer walks forward. Only 10 meters until he reaches Berserker. At this distance, it could close on Archer instantly.
バカにしていいわ。やりなさいバーサーカー。そんな生意気なやつバラバラにして構わないんだから。
Ilya's voice is hysterical. Tasaka turns her back, not paying attention.
行くわ。外に出ればそれで私たちの勝ちになる。
If you say so. Tasaka grabs my hand, as well as Saber's, and runs. Saber doesn't object. She follows Tosaka. I start running towards the entrance, leaving Archer behind. But then, from behind me, he calls out to me, his back still to me. I let go of Tosaka's hand and turn around. In the lobby, now a good ways from me, I see Archer's back as he faces down Berserker. Ah. Okay. Berserker draws near. Archer is still empty-handed, and he doesn't take a single step while he watches his enemy closing in. Archer raises one hand. I have no idea when he got it, but he's holding a short sword now.
イメージするものは常に最強の自分だ。外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは自身のイメージに他ならない。
Okay. I see him start to shift. Berserker's sword sends a rush of wind ahead of him. I turn and run, not staying to watch the clash. Tosaka and Saber are already at the entrance. I run, and I don't look back. The sight of the man in red made it clear that I needed to go.
One last pep talk.
Yep. Yeah, that was.
And we're good.
And we're good. All right. Then we shall call it here. Next week is the escape that our dear Archer has so graciously provided unto us, along with the absolutely raw line of casually. I know y'all so scared of this man. I know that he almost killed y'all previously, but that was because I wasn't there. You okay if I just work him over real quick? OKO him? Man.
This is a stupid long sequence for one day. The Saber route gets like this in the second half.
Makes sense. Because, you know, we're actually battling people now, you know? So, it makes sense. We're done, like, I should be fighting. No, you should not. But I should be fighting. I'm a servant. No, you shouldn't fight. You're a girl. And back and forth.
Good night, everybody. I need to take my meds and transfer 500 yen into my PayPal.
And there you go. Well, good night to the peoples. Until next time.